This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It is that time again. Newcastle Racers football is live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's the Newcastle Racers, the Tuttle Tigers, the Tri-City rivalry renewed at Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field in Newcastle, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway on hand, alongside my partner in crime, Billy Collier. Carson Wade pushing the buttons on the production. Uriah Martinez running the camera for us. Billy, you and I, this is our 5th season doing this. We've done a lot of Newcastle Tuttle games.
Yes.
They're always a big deal. It's always a huge crowd. Going to be again tonight. We were just talking about it. There are people lined up. I mean, as far as the eye can see, basically going back behind us, it's going to be a massive crowd. These games are one of a kind, one of the best rivalries in Oklahoma. Here we go.
Well, when you think Friday Night Lights, you think about, football fields where everything's talked about, and whoever wins this game's got bragging rights for the next year until they play again, and everybody thinks they can win, and everybody thinks they're going to win this year, and that's why it's called a rivalry. And there have been years that thought there was no way, and there was a way. Then you thought there were other years it should be a cakewalk, and it wasn't. It's just a rivalry game, and it's just something that they really could put a lot of pride into on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, 100%. It's so fun. These two communities are so close together. They all know each other so well. There are players that go from one place to another. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, as it goes on. It's one of a kind. And, we've had the pleasure, they play every regular season. We've gotten to do this in the playoffs a couple of times.
That's right.
We don't have that opportunity anymore, or at least not this year, because Newcastle, of course, reclassified up to 5A. Tuttle still at 4A. So we won't. This is going to be a one and done this year.
Right.
They're in different classes. They're not even going to have a chance to play again. Doesn't affect district standings, but the rivalry is so deep that this game still feels as big and as important as any game they're going to play this year, even though it doesn't actually affect district standings and things like that. It's what makes rivalry special.
Well, and these players grew up together. They played Little League together. They went all the way through, some with each other, some against others. And so there's not a whole lot they don't know about the others, and it's really neat to watch them handshake and everything before the game, after the game, but during the game, there's no handshaking in this game.
Right. No, absolutely. It's it's a classic rivalry. These games often get spicy. We always talk about when we kind of talk about our keys to the game and things like that. Keeping a level head, avoiding those kind of that's always a major key in a game like this, because there's a lot of emotion in these types of games, and so we're excited to have it. And it's going to be a fun one. It's great weather, a bit breezy again, but very nice weather overall. A bit warm today, but it's going to be a great night for football, and we're excited to be here. This is the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Title. Great real estate services from ownership lists, title reports, abstracting, construction binders, owner and mortgagee title insurance, closing coordination, closings, and monitoring delivery dates. Regardless of how complicated or simple your title problem is, they can help. Give them a call, 405-348-8605. Oklahoma Abstract and Title, your title sponsor for our pregame show and the Countdown to Kickoff. All right, we'll go ahead and step aside, take a break here. We'll come back. Bill and I will dive into this matchup a little bit. Some of the players we're watching for, our keys to the game, all that good stuff. This is the Newcastle Racers pregame show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network getting all ready for the first leg of the Tri-City Rivalry. We'll have the next part of this thing next week. We're going to go out to Blanchard.
That's right.
And that'll be a fun one as always as well. When these three teams get together, and I can't really speak for Tuttle Blanchard because I've never really been there for that. It was more of these Newcastle games, but any combination of those three teams, it's just a big deal every time. So it's kind of fun, and we're excited to be here tonight for what should be a great game. We're talking about it, and I kind of mentioned off the top, the amount of people that are still waiting to pour in. Have you ever seen it? I mean, we've been doing it for 5 years. There are so many people. We were talking about Carson, our producer. There's nowhere to park. It's just cars. It's a madhouse out here. It's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. They got the police out here trying to direct a little traffic. People are parking beside the road. They're wherever they can. There's a line all the way out to the street on the Newcastle side of people still coming in. They had to open up another gate to let people in on the Tuttle side. There is a lot of people here. So if you're not here yet, now would be a good time to get in your car and get here.
Or maybe walk.
That's
it might be
right.
better off because you're going to have to park.
Grab a horse or something,
Yeah.
you know.
If you have like a golf cart or something, now's the time to bust it out. But it's going to be a massive crowd here tonight, as it always is when these two schools get together on a breezy, windy night at Racer Stadium. So let's go and dive into our starting lineup presented by Sooner State Bank. You have many options when it comes to financial institutions. At Sooner State Bank, they pride themselves on providing the level of service that will exceed your family or business expectations. Stop by one of our branch locations today to talk to our dedicated staff. Sooner State Bank, member FDIC, 212 Wright Street in Newcastle. All right, Billy, so we have one game under our belts with Newcastle last week. We gathered some information. Who are some guys for the Racers tonight that you think either you're watching have a big game, think could have a big game, or just need to have a big game to win tonight? Where are your eyes going here to start this thing for the Racers?
Well, I'd like to see how Caden Longman's going to do for a second week. He really had a bust-out game last week. He was the OSN Player of the Week. For the week at rushing for 43 yards and a touchdown.
I told everyone I'd get him nominated, and I did.
And you did. And he got there. He had a rushing touchdown, rushed 43 yards, receiving. He had 3 receptions for 78 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I'm really looking forward to see how he does. I'm also looking forward to seeing how well the running back by committee does. Mm-hmm. Last week we saw a lot of running backs. In fact, it was a little surprising even to see T.J. Bradford wasn't really a big part of the game as I thought he would be coming in. But they just had a lot of running backs. Colton Bradley, who broke out of nowhere and had a long run. Caden Longman, of course, got to see a little bit of Ben Rogers. Trey Burchett, a lot of guys like that. Yeah. So I'm excited to see how they do. Tonight, I think that they're going to have to start a little faster than they did last week. Last week was all about the second half. I don't think you're going to have that opportunity against Tuttle. You're going to have to get out there first. And so I think that's a big thing coming in. I think their defense, I'm excited to see how they're going to handle Tuttle.
Yeah.
They only had 14 yards rushing last week. Now, that's the thing about second week football. Doesn't really mean a whole lot yet.
Right.
But so it's going to see, and we'll talk about Tuttle here in a second.
Sure.
But I'm going to see how the defensive does. I'm going to have to see how the defensive ends, Alcision and Barry, can keep everything bottled up in the middle, see how they do and keep that, because you're going to have Campbell passing, and then you got McAdoo, Roundsville running. So there's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of adjusting on their part.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be an interesting test for the Newcastle defense, which we think a lot of was really a solid group last year and brought back a lot of key names. We talked about that last week and played well last week in that game against Bartlesville. Other than that second quarter where the Bruins kind of found their footing, after that they kind of settled back down and really dominated the second half of that game. Because like you said, and you'll get into it more in just a second, but Tuttle, it was all about the pass last week. They went into Guthrie and actually I think they hosted Guthrie last week, but neither way, they knocked off the Blue Jays. That's a top-end 5A team that they beat last week. That's a statement win for Tuttle last week, taking down Guthrie, and they did it all through the air. It was all about the passing. The Tigers are loaded at the receiver position, including some names that Racer fans will remember well from last year's team. But that's going to be the matchup I'm excited. Can T.J. Bradford have a bit of a bounce-back game defensively? And some of these other guys in the secondary, whether it's Heskew, guys that we know, Barker, things like that, guys who play both ways. That's going to be an interesting matchup, little game within the game for me tonight, certainly. What about those guys for Tuttle? We kind of danced around it. They're loaded at wideout. They're just names on names on names, and they got a pretty darn good quarterback too.
Well, and last week, they still got Brady McAdoo, who is not running too much last week, obviously, but was a wide receiver. Last week he had 44 yards receiving,
including the game-winning touchdown at the buzzer. Yeah,
and so that was huge. A new guy that came from the Moore School District, C.J. Simon, number 5, good-looking guy. Last week he had 111 receiving yards. Kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody was really talking about him too much. So he's good. Cruz Campbell, I'm excited to see him. There's been a lot of talk. He transferred from Southmore. He's a sophomore starter.
Yeah.
You can imagine that at Tuttle. Last week he passed for 228 yards. Looked like he had a pretty accurate arm, able to drop it in, and a good arm. So I'm excited about that. With his arm like that, and it didn't seem like they did too much rushing, if you can imagine the defense in a V, you're going to have the two defensive ends keeping it in the middle, and then Rex Heskew, who's kind of that spy in the backfield. They're going to have a lot of quick communication and adjusting. I think they're going to play a 3-3-5, which will work to that advantage. But I think that Tuttle, I'm not going to say they can't run. I mean, Roundsville, you didn't hear much from him last week. Curious to see how they're going to establish their running.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because you wonder if that can be an emphasis for Coach, Brad Ballard after last week. Do we see them put an extra emphasis on trying to get the run going maybe a little bit early? And obviously we'll find out here in just a moment. As this game gets going, it should be pretty clear early on how they're going to lean. But, yeah, these matchup of these wide receivers, like you said, McAdoo and Simon, and then the Lane brothers, who obviously were with Newcastle last year, Jordan and Jalen. We loved watching them last year. Their speed getting down the field. So, Newcastle should be pretty well the scouting report for them as they flip over sides. And it also just kind of interesting to see how those guys kind of handle what has got to be an emotional game for them. I'm sure they really want to come in here and play well. And I'm sure that whenever the opportunities arise, the Newcastle faithful and student section will be on them as a transfer like that in such a big rivalry. So there's a lot of things to watch. But yeah, this Cruz Campbell kid, I had the pleasure of seeing him over the summer at some camps there in Norman, and he can throw it around. And that was on display last week against Guthrie. So he's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm excited to see that matchup. But the Tuttle offense versus Newcastle's defense, that's good on good. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and I'm interested to see the defensive backs last week for Newcastle kind of jumped on some fakes pretty fast, and you saw them out of place, and that really opened it up for Nico last week from Bartlesville. So I'm hoping that's just first game jitters, first game nervousness, get that out of the way, and see those defensive backs. They're going to have to be on them. To quote Hoosiers, they need to know what flavor of gum they got. And so they're going to have to stay on them because they got people all over the place. So that's going to be a big part of the game that I'm going to watch as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one tonight. We're excited. We're getting closer, about a little less than 15 minutes until kickoff here from Racer Stadium. We'll go ahead and step aside once more. We come back, we'll look ahead at the schedule ahead for the Racers after tonight. We kind of touched on what lies ahead next week, and we'll also look at some other games on OSN tonight. This is technically week 1, so it's a full capital F slate on OSN tonight. We'll look into that a little bit as well as we continue to roll through our countdown to kickoff presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Tuttle on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, rolling through our Racer pregame show. The Newcastle marching band just played the national anthem and they're doing the fight song right now. We're about 10 minutes from kickoff here in Newcastle. It should be a great one tonight, the Racers and the Tuttle Tigers. Let's go ahead and look at our schedule ahead for Newcastle this season. Opened up with a 49-24 win over Bartlesville last week. As you can see there, we'll take our show on the road for the first time next Friday night at Blanchard. That'll be a fun one, Billy. Obviously, always fun.
Yeah.
Same deal as tonight. Those Tri-City rivalry. The following Friday will be in Elgin. That'll be our final non-district game as the Owls, who are, of course, an OSN squad. We used to go out there all the time when they were in the same district. Then Elgin moved up to 5A, so obviously we were no longer in the same district. And now we flip-flop. Newcastle's in 5A, Elgin's in 4A, but we will be getting back out there in a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back home for Duncan here on the 27th to start district play. But we talked about it last week a little bit, Billy. The schedule, especially in non-district play, is really tough. These next 3 weeks are a gauntlet for Newcastle.
Murderer's row right there. And I know that Brickman does that so he can have the players ready. Once you have faced, Bartlesville and Tuttle and Blanchard and Elgin, then there's not a whole lot within the district that's really going to scare you or worry you too much. So he wants to get them ready, get them conditioned to face in district, because that's where it's really going to count and really going to work for them or against them. So I know that pre-district, he really wants to get them playing some really good teams. So that's kind of what we're looking at with Murderers Row, playing those tough teams, getting ready for district. So, hey, some coaches don't like doing that. They would rather build up the confidence. I think Brickman would rather build up the conditioning, not have his team kind of white-knuckled there within district. So I think that's why you look at Murderers Row for the first 4 games.
Yeah, and it toughens you up. I do think, with the way high school football is structured, and, these non-district games don't affect, obviously, district play, and district play is what ultimately determines the playoff standings. I think it's probably better to do it this way and to play big games. Now, granted, Newcastle has 2 built-in tough games every year with Tuttle and Blanchard. But to go out and schedule a Bartlesville in 6A2 and to schedule an Elgin that you didn't have to do, who's obviously been a really good 5A team and is now at the top of 4A, going to be expected this year.
Oh, yeah.
I do think that you gain a lot from that. And when we get down the road, we get into playoff time, Newcastle will have some confidence knowing we've already played teams that are top end, including tonight. So I do think that you gain more from it than you could lose. So I agree. I like the philosophy. I like giving us these big games early, and we're excited. The next 3 weeks are going to be a lot of fun. Start tonight, obviously. Let's look at the slate on OSN tonight. Like we said, this is technically week 1. Last week was week 0. So while there was a lot of games we joked about it, pretty much everybody plays on week 0 now. It wasn't a full slate. It's a full slate tonight. We've got a lot of action. There's only one Thursday night game on OSN last night, which tells you how many games are tonight. Right. We have the Lawton schools, MacArthur and Eisenhower are going toe-to-toe. That's obviously a double OSN affair. Altus and Elk City tonight. Cash and Duncan. So that's a team we'll see later this year. The Demons here in just a few weeks. Walters and Helton is playing tonight. Elgin is playing a Texas school. They're playing Hillcrest tonight. I don't know if that's in Elgin or down in Texas. I hope for our guys' sake it's in Elgin.
I hope so, too.
For Vincent Saylor and the Elgin, Glenn Brockenbush. Dell City, Booker T. Washington, that's a really fun one. Midwest City, Carl Albert, that's obviously a double OSN game. Always fun when the mid-Dell teams get together. Those two in Dell City, that little mid-Dell triangle, it's kind of like the Tri-City triangle. Like any combination of those three is always fun when they get together. And then Jones, who's obviously new to OSN this year, they've got Kiefer as well. So that's what we have on OSN tonight, but it's a loaded slate. You were just talking about it in the break. There's a ton of rivalry games tonight. It's just early in the year you get some of these really big high school games, and tonight feels like the first night of you can't go more than 10 minutes of driving and not stumble into a big high school game tonight. It's a loaded slate.
Well, and absolutely, a lot of teams, like you're saying, Carl Albert and Midwest City. You got Norman North, Norman. You've got Lawton Mac and Lawton, all these rivalries in town.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're right. Yeah. Friday Night Lights, this is going to be one of the best ones. Of course, we're here in the Oklahoma wind. It feels like football. And so it's a really incredible thing to watch that and exciting to be a part of that like we are.
It just feels good. NFL had their opener last night. We had, college obviously off and running. We're just in the full swing of things now. It feels good. So the captains are heading out to midfield for the coin toss. Doing the honors for Newcastle, we've got 6 captains tonight. Taj Smith, number 77. Number 43 is Aiden Elcision. Number 5, of course, TJ Bradford. Rex Heskew, number 4. And then Trey Burchett, number 16. And the quarterback, Jackson Shaniel, number 15, are kind of hanging back there for the Racers, who are on their all-black uniform side. It is blackout here at Racer Stadium, so the Newcastle student section's all decked out in black from head to toe. Tuttle in the all-road Stormtrooper whites, and it should be a fun matchup here. So we got the coin flip. Our coin flip sponsor all season long is Elcision Realty. Boomer and Tiffany Elcision of the Tiffany team are your local realtors with Prime Realty. Go Racers. Tiffany and Boomer Elcision with Elcision Realty, our coin flip sponsor, and their boy Aiden is out there doing the coin flip. Would you take the ball first here, or are you putting the defense out there first?
I think I'd take the ball first. I think that's what I would do. Make them have to play catch-up. Hopefully you run in. Remember last year we were talking about before the game, we scored pretty fast right off the bat, and then make them play catch-up.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I would do it.
I feel you. I could see both. I'm kind of good either way. I kind of agree. It's kind of one of those things. I typically like to play defense first in general. But in a big game, I can be talked into, let's try to get a score and get a lead. Right. I can kind of get talked into either way.
And it really is kind of that razor's edge. I mean, you take the ball first, go 3 and out, and now you're starting in a slump. But I'm with you. It could go well either way, but I think take the ball, make a touchdown first is probably the way I would go.
So the head official in the white cap has flipped the coin. Looks like Newcastle won the toss and elected to defer, which should mean the Tigers get the ball to open up this ball game. So there you have it. They deferred the option.
They never listen to me.
I'm waiting for the official signal just to be sure, because we've gotten tricked a couple times on that. What game was it last where the teams literally lined up? You remember that? And then they had to completely flip everything. That was kind of.
Well, then there was that one game where they deferred, but the team that did not defer took defense. So Newcastle got to start offense first half and second half.
Yeah, you're right. That was bizarre.
That was.
So it is official. Newcastle won the toss. They elected to defer. Tuttle will receive to start the game. So we'll see that Racer defense against Cruz Campbell and those Tigers skill position players right out of the gates. Tigers are taking the field. Racers are going to do the same in just a moment. We're going to step aside one more time. This has been the Countdown to Kickoff presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Title. On the other side of this break, kickoff. Newcastle Racers, Tuttle Tigers, the Tri-City rivalry renewed next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir. We are back at Racer Stadium in Gene Refield. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade, the producer, Uriah Martinez working the camera. We're just about ready to get this thing started. We mentioned it's a zoo. It's still a zoo. It is. There are people still filing in. The line, I don't know if it's gone down at all. It is.
Much.
There's nowhere to put these people, by the way, because the stands are absolutely packed to the gills. It's a madhouse in this place, and we're excited for some football. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Newcastle and Tuttle on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Glad you could be with us. Mention Newcastle in the black jersey, black pants on black at night, blue helmets. Tuttle in the all white. The alma mater of Jason White. course, Heisman Trophy winner.
Of course. Well, I'm excited. You see who they got back for Tuttle, don't you? They got Simons and McAdoo back there, so we're going to see them right off the bat.
Nice combination. Doing the honors on the kick for the Racers. Looks like it'll be Toby Pfeiffer. Tobias as he gets over the PA. And we're ready to go. We're excited. Glad to be with us on a beautiful Friday night here at Gene Reed Field, Racer Stadium, the Castle, whatever you call it. It's going to have a good game played on it tonight. Ready to go. Pfeiffer takes his march toward the ball, and kickoff is underway. The Racers and the Tigers at Racer Stadium. The opening kickoff is going to go out of bounds as it bounced right in front of Jordan Lane.
Pfeiffer's kick goes out of bounds.
And the Tigers will get good field position to start after the penalty. And we'll get a first look at quarterback Cruz Campbell and this Tuttle Tigers offense.
Well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the front four do. And that's where it's going to start out right there. Linebackers kind of keeping all that mustered up, freeing up the 5 in the backfield. You should have 4 on the receivers, at least one in the backfield. You're going to see Rex Heskey, number 4. He's kind of that cover 1. Occasionally you'll see Burchett come back there with him in a cover 2. It'll be interesting to see how they start it off.
Here comes Cruz Campbell. The running back with him is Sean Rounsaville, who Billy talked about in pregame. We saw him plenty last year, and then that never-ending line of receiver targets. They're all out there, 4 wide. And we'll see. We talked about it. Only 14 rushing yards last week for the Tigers. Do they try to establish that early? We're going to find out right now. And they're going to play action at the gate, and Campbell got erased. He got rid of the ball, but he was smoked by who else but the opposing quarterback, Jackson Shanuel.
He came untouched. I don't know how he slipped in there. He got there before I even knew they'd hiked the ball.
Play action, and the Racers were just absolutely all over it. Good look at that on the instant replay presented by Eric Ledoux State Farm. So an incomplete pass, and it's 2nd and 10. What a start for the Racers defense. They will run it this time with Rounsaville, and he'll run forward for a pickup of about 6. Good pickup there for the Tigers. Offensively sets up a 3rd and manageable.
And you saw there the Tuttle line really opened up that middle. You'll have to watch them there. That'd be pretty. That's kind of what they do the whole game through.
So we got a 3rd down and call it 4 here for the Tigers. 3 right at the bottom. That's a false start, and they're going to get them. And our first penalty of the game is going to be on the Tigers. That's a big one as it goes from 3rd and 4 back to 3rd and 9.
Well, you can't help that Shanuel sack has probably got the lineman wondered, how fast they got to go. I do also like that I'm seeing the Lane brothers down here at the bottom lined up.
Yeah.
But
right in front of their old teammates.
That's right. And I tell you what, that's a bad time to get that penalty.
So it's 3rd and 9 after the false start. Racer faithful, they're into it early. 3rd and 9 here. Rounsaville behind Campbell. He'll fake it to him. Campbell steps up, fires near side pass, caught right at the 40, getting up the sideline, trying to get loose, and he does, breaking the tackle and rammed down at the 44 for a 1st down. That's C.J. Simon, one of the many Tuttle Tigers playmakers on the outside.
And you better get used to hearing that name. They went to him numerous times last week. He has the ability to get away from it. You saw him get away from Bradford right there. So get ready to hear that a lot.
So the Tigers get a big 3rd down conversion. It's 1st and 10 up to the 44. Just getting started here, 11:20 and counting to play in the first. Handoff to Rounsaville, and he'll get forward for a good pickup about 4, we'll call it. 2nd down and 6.
That was a good run. It's going to go back and forth. It kind of keep you off guard, not knowing what they're going to play next. But they're playing speed, so that really keeps you back on your heels.
So 2nd and 6 after the run by Rounsaville. Simon's the receiver at the bottom, McAdoo at the top. Fake the handoff again. Campbell looking for Simon. Nobody was there. He's going to take off and run. And he'll get to the sideline out of bounds for a pickup of a few. And we're going to have another 3rd down here.
Around right side.
That was well defended there. He was looking for Simons on a big play down the middle, but Racers just blanketed him.
Yeah, that was good. You saw Rex Heskey and Bradford just had him in a sandwich right there. He wasn't going to get it through there.
48-yard line.
So we've got a 3rd down and 2 on the Newcastle 48. Got to get to the 46. 2 receivers at the top. One at the bottom is Simons again. Rounsaville right behind Campbell. And he'll get it. Run pushing forward, breaking through. Is going to be a 1st down inside the 45. And the Tigers putting together a nice first
drive here to kick things off as he gets down to the 42.
That looks like a good tackle by Scagnetti there. He kind of was underneath everybody and got a hold of his ankles and wouldn't let go and brought him down. But at Brownsville, he's kind of starting off where he left off last year.
Yeah, so we talked about it. They didn't run the ball real well against Guthrie last week, but off to a pretty good start here today. No huge runs, but you'll take 4 or 5 yards just about every time. And they're going to try it again. This time, not much there. Brownsville's going to get ahead for a gain of about 2. And it brings up second down and 8.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to surprise them here. I'd watch for a play-action pass right now. But it looks like the defensive backs are staying on those receivers pretty well.
Second down and 8 here for the Tigers. Nobody at the bottom, 2 receivers at the top. Interesting formation here.
Got Ian Barker up there on Simons.
Fake the handoff again. Campbell's going to let it fly. Far side for McAdoo. He's got it inside the 30.
Oh.
A good tackle there by Longman, but out before McAdoo got the catch. And another first down for the Tigers inside the 30. So Tuttle on the move here. A very nice opening drive for Coach Ballard and the Tigers.
Well, and when you put that many people to covering one receiver, you're going to leave somebody open. And that time it was McAdoo coming back, seeing that he could have it. And I don't know that many people were keeping their eye on him.
So first and 10 for Tuttle again at the 27-yard line. Trying to pay this off with points. Play action once more. Campbell steps up and he's sacked. There's Scagnetti again, who's had a monster first week. And he's picking up right where he left off with a big sack right there.
Wow, that was a huge sack. 8-yard loss. He just squeezed up through there. He's not as tall as some of the other guys, Shanuel and Burchett, but he just squeezed right through 2 linemen and got right up in his face.
So unlike the one earlier where Shanuel blew up Campbell on the first play, he wasn't able to get rid of it this time. So he had to eat it. 8-yard loss sets up a second down and 18. Way back at the 35. Handoff Brownsville breaks the first tackle, gets up to the left side. Oh, he gets flattened. A nice hit there by the Racers. That's Burchett. He gets up near the original line of scrimmage, but obviously still going to be third and pretty long here. We'll call it 10.
Yeah, that was a pretty good tackle coming in like that. I think be careful if they consider that helmet to helmet. But they're spreading them out so far that once you get past that first 4 or 5, there's not a whole lot of players.
Another big play here, 3rd and 10, probably 4-down territory for the Tigers. Play action, he'll fire, pass is incomplete, looking for Simons, and he just missed him. Good coverage there by Bradford. And now an interesting decision for Tuttle here early. Got 4th and 10 on the 27. This is kind of no man's land. It's going to be a really long field goal, but also you're probably not crazy about going for it on 4th and 10 either.
I don't think so. You got the wind at your back, so they may come up and give that an attempt.
Campbell's coming off, so they're going to kick this in some capacity.
Either that or they're bringing in the big guy. No, it's
looks
a
like
punt.
they're punting it. They're punting it. Wow. From the 27, they're going to punt it. McAdoo is doing the honor on the punting. Boy, you don't see a lot of punts from this far down the field. No. I agree. It's kind of, it's really a no-win spot for Tuttle. So McAdoo is going to punt it. Little pooch punt. It's going to go into the end zone unless it goes out of bounds, and it did. Ended up being a pretty good punt, I think.
Yeah, about
we'll see where they
6-yard
spot
line.
it.
McAdoo's punt goes out of bounds.
5.
Yeah, right about the 5. So that worked out quite well. Off his foot, I honestly thought that was going right in the end zone, but he angled it enough that it got out. And Newcastle's going to be pinned way back at the 5, and that's where they'll start. So a good job of the defense to bend but don't break there. But now, if you're offensively, you want to try and work the ball down the field, but also you got to avoid disaster here because you're way in your own end.
Well, and you got the wind in your face. You're going to have to establish the run at least a little bit.
I'm with you. Run the ball here, probably. So here comes Jackson Shanuel and this Newcastle Racers offense starting on their own. It looks like they gave him the 6. 1st and 10. TJ Bradford, the running back. Next is Shanuel. Longman, Heskew at the bottom. I believe that's Schumard over there at the top. And now we have whistles. And the Racers take an early timeout to try and talk things over here. Gives me a chance to thank our first quarter sponsor, which is Chris Dumm, All-State agent. See him up there in the corner. Chris knows what life is like here in Newcastle, that you choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. He looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find the solutions that meet your needs. Call today at 405-392-2390. So I'm with you here, Billy. I mean, it's probably ground and pound right now. Just try to at least, at the very least, I think if you're Newcastle, you're not that worried about scoring on this drive as much as just let's get it out of our end a little.
Right, let's shift the end of the field here. because that wind right in your face, anything thrown up is just going to hang and be ready for whoever grabs it.
So here we go. 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. The Racers start their first drive. It is going to be a handoff to Bradford. Goes around the right side. Breaking tackles. T.J. Bradford, here's what he does. Across the 20, a huge run on 1st down. And Newcastle, there's your breathing room, has it 1st and 10.
That was a good run. Excellent getting around the end there. Got around number 5 there. C.J. Simon. Just speed right there. And, boy, he needed that after last week.
So a very nice run on 1st down for Bradford for a lot of reasons. Gets the drive started, but also gets the end zone away from you a little bit. Gets you some breathing room. And it's 1st down for Newcastle there. Back to him. Bradford up the middle. A good cutback. And he'll run forward for a gain of about 5 to the 29. Maybe the 28.
Yeah, that was good. And they're really, tendering them up in the front. They got a front 7. They're playing a 4-3. And so you're going to have to try and keep them in there, especially, again, like we're talking about with the wind. But I'd look for them to maybe throw some passes in the flat here soon.
2nd down and 6 after the run by Bradford. The running back in there now, Colton Bradley. And it'll be a fake to him. Shaniel will keep, and he didn't really have anywhere to go. Just about back to the line of scrimmage as McAdoo and Luke Falwell teaming up for the tackle there. And it sets up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Adrian Avalar, number 22, just kind of stood him up right there. That's what it looked like, and kind of dropped him. They're having Shaniel come out. Looks like there may be some blood.
Yeah, he's going to come off. Caden Longman will do the duties here, which it's hard to tell when it's playing and when it's not, because they Coach Brickman and the Racers, they like to do this, give teams a different look at quarterback.
Well, this will be interesting because he does bring a whole different feel.
Yeah. So it'll be Longman and Bradford in the backfield. 3 receiver set. Caden Longman, 4 touchdowns last week. He was everywhere. High snap. He'll fake the handoff to Bradford and keep. Hurdles the line of scrimmage. And he gets down to the 31. He is going to be short of the sticks by about 3 yards. Boy, I would imagine they'll punt this.
I would say yes, punt it. But, boy, you got to just be nervous whenever they try and jump that line like that and they're in the air.
So the Newcastle sideline shouting direction. Shaniel's kind of looking like he's getting a play call. This would be very aggressive.
Very.
To go for it here.
Wow.
So we'll see what they do. It certainly looks like they're going to go for it.
Wonder if he'll do the quarterback punt thing.
4 receiver set. This is 4th down and 3 on their own 31. The snap just rolled in, and Shaniel just had to punt it. And it's going to roll out of bounds just past the 50. I don't know what happened there. The snap, it looked like he kind of, I don't know what happened there. It looked like maybe he started to snap and realized he shouldn't and tried to stop himself. He can't really do that.
No, he did a good job.
Shaniel, that could have been an absolute disaster. Horrible. And Shaniel did a good job just to
get it to their side.
Yeah, I think that pretty clearly shows you that he was going to punt it.
Right.
So Tuttle takes over on their own 49.
And if he wasn't going to punt it, I'm even more impressed with Shaniel.
And he had the wherewithal to do that. So a near disaster. So Newcastle did a good job to get away from their own end zone at least a little bit. Tuttle still, though, obviously great field position, starting on their own 49 with their 2nd possession, 6:26 to play in the 1st quarter. Simon on a little jet sweep here. We have a flag coming in as Simon's got nowhere to go. He does a good job breaking some tackles to get about a yard out of it, but I think this is going to be a hold on Tuttle.
Yeah, that's right there in Holdville. Right there, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Somebody was trying to streak through and was immediately stopped, so you kind of think there probably was a snag.
Looked like they probably could have dinged McAdoo on that as well.
Holding on the offense.
But they already got him once, so it'll be a hold on Tuttle. And 1st and 20 coming up.
Wow. So now they're almost right back to where they started the game at, right there towards the 35.
It'll be 1st and 20
yeah,
total.
39.
39-yard line.
And like we said, 1st and 20 at that spot. Campbell in the shotgun. Brownsville behind him. Campbell will throw. Steps up in the pocket. Fires. Diving attempt by Simon. He caught it. Boy, that's a heck of a catch by C.J. Simon, who is a very talented senior wideout.
Yeah, he got it right back at the original line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Just pulled it off the turf.
Yeah, Campbell's throw was a little low and away, but Simon did a good job to get down and get the hands underneath it and scoop it
as we pass the midway point of the opening quarter. 2nd and 10. Handoff to Roundsville, up the gut. Burchett had a shot at him, and then Scagnetti couldn't quite pull him in. Roundsville just spinning his way down near the 30, just wouldn't be denied. And a first down for the Tigers, and then some down to the 31.
And he is a big guy, 6 foot, 200 pounds. You can't just hit him and hope he falls. You got to grab him and stop his momentum.
Yeah, he is shown to be a tough guy to deal with early in this game. And they're going to give it to him again, up the middle. There he goes, right on cue, carrying guys with him past the 25-yard line. And so far in this game, Roundsville, he's doing a great job. That first initial hit or two is not deterring him. He's getting an extra 3-4 yards every time.
About 7 yards.
Well, and I think that's what the Tuttle is needing to get that momentum, especially coming off last week's games, get that run game started.
Yeah, they've been leaning on it early. 2nd and 3, they'll go back to him again, up the middle. This time bottled up pretty good. Another flag flying in here. He was held short of the marker, but we'll see what the flag is.
There's the flag on the play.
Okay.
Holding on the offense.
That's what I thought.
Another hold on Tuttle.
Here's what's tough about that hold is it was way out on the end of the line where you almost didn't need it. He was pretty much past it. But like they say, they're holding on every play. It's just a matter if it's seen or not.
That's the old cliche, yeah. Do they want to call it or not, basically?
Brings up 2nd and 13.
So it's 2nd and 13 after the hold. 5:03 on the first quarter clock. It's looking for our first points, Tuttle in Newcastle. Fake the handoff to Roundsville. Campbell steps in the pocket. He's going to fire deep. Looking for Simon in the end zone. Overshot him. And that's where I think maybe having the wind at your back might have hurt you a little bit because that thing just flew.
Well, and I don't want to start anything, especially 4:57 left in the first. But I wonder if getting sacked like that right at the first did a little something. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Maybe did a little something because, junior. Is he junior? My bad. And so I wonder if that kind of played a little bit on him.
So it's 3rd and 13, 4:57 on the first quarter clock. Another opportunity for the Racers to try and get a stop here. Campbell, good clean pocket this time, fires over the middle. It's going to go incomplete. Was waiting to see if there was going to be any flags there. No call. As it looked like Jalen Lane, I couldn't tell that was for Newcastle. Might have gone with a little tug on the jersey there, but
they were definitely doing high fives.
there was some contact there, but no whistle. And the Racer defense, give them credit, once again gave up some yardage, let Tuttle move it a little, but bend but don't break, and the Tigers left to punt.
I was really surprised they didn't go to Simons.
McAdoo will punt. It's blocked. It'll go out of bounds, but Preston Scagnetti, who is just everywhere in the first 5 quarters of the season, he got a piece of that, and that's going to save Newcastle a lot of yards on field position.
Oh, great yardage, great field position. Great job by Scagnetti getting in there. I bet that hand's pretty numb right now, but he did a great job of getting that block.
Well, you saw McAdoo kind of realize that Scagnetti's coming, and he kind of rushed it. And it was a little bit lower than probably normal because he rushed it, and Scagnetti got a fingertip on it.
Yeah, I even thought he was trying to go farther to the right once he saw 21, but he still got it. So let's see what they do.
Will set up shop on their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10 Racers.
So the Racers set up 1st and 10 on the 34. As a stoppage here. Official talking to one of the linemen. Can't quite make out the number.
Yeah, he's got to get the jerseys down.
It's like it was Blake Allen. He had to adjust something with the uni. And now back to it, 1st and 10. Fake the hand up to Bradford, though in the flat. This is Schumard. Up the sideline, breaks the first tackle and slung out of bounds, but not until he picks up about 8 or 9 to set up a 2nd down and short. Alex Schumard on the catch there.
That number 14 that made the eventual tackle on him, that's Luke Falwell. He's the guy that had the most tackles last year. You're going to see a lot of him tonight and this season.
Give him 9 yards, sets up 2nd down and 1 at the 43. Shanuel will hand off to Bradford this time, right up the middle. He's across midfield, spinning his way down for a Racer 1st down, and they're on the Tigers' side of the 50 for the first time.
Yeah, great job, great run, took it back, brought the line to the left, shot him back out to the right, and he was through there before the linebackers even knew he was coming.
So 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line for Newcastle.
Back to Bradford again, right up the middle, and he does a good job. That's Falwell again. He got 5 yards out of it, but it looked like it was about to be a lot more. A good shoestring tackle by Falwell.
I don't know where they're getting these hurdlers for running back and quarterback. My goodness, getting up in the air like that. But that was a good run, picked up 5.
Again, kind of like I was saying earlier with Roundsville. 4 or 5 yards, you'll take that every time.
Every day.
2nd and 5 for Newcastle as we run under 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Shanuel. Back to pass, steps up to his left. Good clean pocket. He's going deep looking for Caden Longman. It's incomplete. He went up high for that ball, but it was knocked loose. A couple of Tigers down there. Jordan Lane, one of them. The other looks like that's Major Vanderberg, number 8.
Yeah, I think that one got stuck up in that wind like we were talking about and just allowed them to get there a little faster. That's going to be hard passing in this first quarter. So second quarter, that may have been a touchdown.
I wonder if that play call is a little bit of a hint of probably going to go for it on 4th if you need to here.
Could be. Could just be backing up the linebackers.
3rd and 5. Brown and Longman go in motion. Bradford back there next to Shanuel. Shanuel will keep it. Some miscommunication right there, but Shanuel's going to carry guys down to the 41. He is short.
15,
and here we go. We're going to find out. It's going to be 4th down and call it 2.
He's brought down number 14, Luke Falwell, number 11.
Looked like Shanuel and Bradford just kind of ran into each other a little bit there.
They did. That looked a little unclean right there.
Yeah, a little clunky.
I tell you what, you're seeing McAdoo and Shanuel showing each other a lot of respect out there. You know, they've played each other for several years now.
Yeah. So it does look like they're going to go for it, which, I kind of theorize on that 2nd down play call. And here we go. 4th down and 2. Hunter Berry in the game on offense. You know what they're going to do. Shanuel, QB keeper up the middle, dives forward. I think he got it. It's going to depend on the spot. Oh, boy, this is going to be close. Yeah, it's going to just depend on where they put the ball down. He's right at that stick.
Depends on which side of the hash mark they put it on, the north or the south. Ooh, they put it on the south side.
Ooh, boy, that is close.
Oh,
the
man.
nose of the football is right at the 39, which is right where the marker is. Wow. They're going to have to measure this. This is as close as it gets.
Yeah, I'm trying to judge it by that marker on the far side, the 1st down marker, and I don't know that he got it. I mean, it's looking pretty short. I can't say that it was a great.
I think he got it, but it's really hard to tell.
I don't know.
Find out. It looked like the stick was, just shy of the 39. And you look at that where the ball is. The nose of the football clearly is at the 39 to me. So we're going to find out in just a moment.
Well, it looked like when he dove and fell forward, he got past the 39, but I'm not down there as close as they are.
Well, here we go.
I got it.
Yeah, oh, boy.
They're not.
Both teams think that they're on the right side of it, and they say he's short.
Golly.
It's going to be Tuttle ball. Boy, that was, again, as close as it gets. It was so close that even after they put the stick down, A, the official couldn't tell. B, both teams celebrated. They both thought, we got it. But it goes the way of the road team, and the Tigers are going to take over.
That looked a lot like that game last night.
the toe? the toe on the back line?
It was the toe.
As somebody who has Lamar Jackson in fantasy, that was a little painful. I'm not going to lie.
I'm a KC fan. So.
You were loving it.
License plate KXD710.
All righty, so the Tigers are going to take back over after the 4th down stop. They'll hand off to Roundsville. And a good job cutting back by Roundsville. He's popped by Heskew, but he spins his way across the 50 for another 1st down for the Tigers.
Good tackle by El Cision. Just came down there and just dropped on him, but he got the yards.
And number 43,
It's been all defense here early. Both teams have moved the ball a little, but both defenses have, when they needed to, have stepped up and got the stops. 1st down. Back to Roundsville again. He'll cut back. Runs forward for a gain of about 5, but we're going to have another penalty here, and I'm going to assume this is holding again with where it is, as you say, in Holdville.
I think so. I tell you what, I'm really impressed. Roundsville, you're expecting him to cut out to the outside, and he keeps cutting to the inside. I think that's keeping the defense a little off guard.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of being a little patient back there. You're right, kind of seeing where the hole is, but then giving it that extra little beat and then cutting toward kind of where the line is shifting. But another hold on Tuttle, that's kind of been a bit of an early issue for the Tigers. I think it's at least the 3rd hold?
Yes, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. So again, 1st down and 20 for Tuttle after the hold.
Campbell will fake it. He'll throw. Cruz Campbell to the far side. This is Simon right about the 50. He'll spin and tackle down at the 49 by Burchett. Gain of about 9 makes it second down and 11.
Tell you what, Simon's running great routes, and he's right where quarterback's throwing it before he gets there. And so that's a good route running.
Yeah, CJ Simon, you can see it. Very polished receiver, running good routes, sure-handed. Gets 9 more there, sets up second down and 11. Campbell faked the handoff, pressure coming. Burchett got him as he threw, but it's going to be caught by McAdoo, who skied up and high-pointed that thing inside the 40. And it's another first down for the Tigers. Boy, Burchett was just a tick late on getting to Campbell. And then a great catch by McAdoo.
Yeah, that was probably a 26, 28-foot vertical, or inch vertical.
That'd be something.
That would be.
Get him in the dunk contest if he can do that. First and 10 at the 39. Final 2 minutes of the opening quarter. Campbell back to pass some pressure. He'll step in the pocket. Now he'll take off with it. He'll slide down just shy of the 35.
That was smart. He didn't want to get hit again back there. It was closing in on him, so that was good.
I think you're right, though, in that, Newcastle's got him a couple times and have laid a lick, and I think he's a little more, jumpy or happy feet, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. He took off a little quick there, and part of that might be that they've got home a couple of times. Sets up second down. Here's Rosseville, and he got blasted. Guess who? Scagnetti again.
Wow. Boy, he is just a blur going right through that line like that. And he brings a hammer with him.
Boy, Preston Scagnetti, just a sophomore, is beyond everywhere these first 2 weeks of the season. He is having a monster start to his year. And that was a 5-yard loss on a handoff, which you don't get very often. And it's now 3rd and 11, final minute of the opening quarter here at Racer Stadium. What a hit that was by Scagnetti. He just erased him.
Depleted him.
3rd and 11. Pressure coming on Campbell. He'll fire past, tipped at the line. It'll go incomplete. And once again, the Tigers get a couple first downs. They move the ball, but Newcastle buckles down and gets a stop.
And that was big 6'5" Shanuel getting up there, getting them big old hands in the way and knocking it out of there. I think we're going to dance around the middle of the field for quite a while.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I'll tell you what, I think of a few years ago, 2020 especially, those offenses were so fun. But, man, a defense like this is a lot of fun to watch, too. They are laying licks. Oh, high snap. McAdoo does a good job to save it, and he'll do a line drive punt toward the corner. He pinned him again, I think. It's going to depend. That was right at the pylon. I think they might be saying touchback, actually. For Newcastle's sake, we have to hope. Oh, they're saying at the 3. Wow.
Man, McAdoo is
he is
great
a punt extraordinaire.
Man.
I couldn't really tell, the depth perception is so tough from, our vantage point. Same thing as the broadcast angle. But they're pinned again. Boy, that's 2 huge plays. Because, obviously, that's a massive difference. It was in the end zone. You're out to the 20. You have so much more, kind of freedom to run your offense a little bit. When you're this backed up, you feel like you have to eliminate a lot of your playbook.
Yeah, right here you just got to load up and go. You got to get going vertical as fast as possible to get away from that blue.
1st and 10 on their own 3. First quarter winding down. They'll go to Bradford. He'll run hard up the middle. Not a whole lot there. He'll get a couple of yards to give him some breathing room. Give him 3, it looks like.
Gave him about 3 yards.
Makes it 2nd and 7. We'll see if they snap it again or if they want to wait to flip that wind. They don't have to.
It looks like they're lining up, but I'm with you. I'm wondering about flopping the field.
So they are going to snap it. And they will. Run to Bradford right side, and he's wrangled down for another yard or 2.
Number 15 and number 5.
And that is going to end the first quarter. So all about the defenses here early. Both teams have moved it a little bit, but once you cross the 50, it's gotten tough on both offenses. And at the end of one quarter, it's Tuttle 0, Newcastle 0. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
people don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. This whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, back in black and back at the home of the Racers. Gene Reed Field, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production, Uriah Martinez running the camera. We start the second quarter here. It's a 3rd and 5 for Newcastle, back to play in their own end. Jackson Shaniel, the quarterback. He'll drop back to pass. Pressure coming off the edge. He does a good job to sidestep it. Fire over the middle, incomplete. There's a flag on the pass interference. You're waiting to see. Rex Heskew had a man right on his back, and they're going to get the call. It's going to be a first down after the penalty.
Yeah, that was painful. That was painful. I'm not sure he could have got to that ball in the first place, but that's a painful penalty, especially on Falwell.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if he would have been able to catch that anyway. But the penalty will go on the Tigers. It's going to result in a first down. While we have a little stoppage here, let me get the second quarter sponsor in, which is Contemporary Family Dentistry. Great sponsor on OSN. Their number one goal is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice field. Come in and experience the difference. 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. Call them at 405-387-9300. Contemporary Family Dentistry. They've been with us the whole way, Billy.
They have.
So shout out them.
Good people there. They enjoy it. They a regional sponsor, do basketball as well. So they're a good sponsor.
So it's a 1st and 10 after the penalty. It looks like they're marking this. Where are they? It looks like they're going to be at about the 13.5. And it's a big penalty too. Again, when you're that backed up, you're not really. Obviously, you want to score every drive, but the primary goal is just get it out of this end a little bit and allow us to flip the field. And even just that alone, it allows you the opportunity to do that. Now, they actually gave him a lot more yards here, up to the 23 now.
Yeah, it looks like they did 15 from the original line of scrimmage.
That makes sense.
And took it out there. And I think you're right. Just getting away from that end zone, you almost have to get past the 20 or 25 before you can really do
at least
things.
Now you can try to get if you have to get a big punt and flip it around a little. First down. Here's Bradford again. He'll cut back up the middle, spinning around and runs into a cavalry of Tigers, and he's stopped at the 27, so give him 4 yards there.
That's a good run. Just those immediate holes. You don't mind getting 4 yards and just 4 and 5 it down here. Occasional pass thrown in.
Haven't seen him throw the ball a lot, and we talked about it. It is very breezy out here tonight. Wonder if that's playing a factor, but it's been a lot of the run game so far for Newcastle, and more here. Shane will keep it, nowhere to go. Just ran into a wall.
They had that bottled up pretty well.
Yeah.
The way they got around on the end there, I don't know that he could have pitched it to Bradford because they had it pretty well cut off.
He's brought down by number 1.
Looks like it was pretty much just a wash there, no gain. So keep him at the 27. Sets up a 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
See what they go with here. 3rd and 6. Probably put the ball in the air, you would think.
I think so. You got number 4 down here. He's got sticky fingers. He's able to pull that in, as well as Caden Longman down here beside him.
Brown in the slot, and then Schumar at the top. Bradford, the running back, he'll split out. Shaniel back to pass. Good clean pocket. He'll step up and fire. Picked off. Falwell's got it. He's going to the far side. Shaniel will trip him up into the red zone as Falwell just kind of slunk back. Shaniel never saw him. And the first big momentum-shifting play of this game goes to the Tigers.
I think from up here you saw that the whole way. You saw Heskew kind of pop out in the open right there, and before he could even really see what was going on, the defender just jumped right up there and was right between him and the receiver.
Yeah, just a classic kind of never saw the guy in the middle kind of start to fade back a little. You see it all the time at every level, and it happened right there. So the first really big kind of flip play of this game goes to Tuttle, and they've now got it in the red zone. Can the Racers defense buckle down on the quick change? Here's Roundsville, left side handoff, bouncing outside and wrangled to the ground for a short pickup. Once again, Scagnetti on the tackle.
You tell a little bit more intensity in the blocks right there and the run right there. There's a little bit upset, players on the Newcastle side. They're a little more intense in that tackle.
From the 16-yard line.
Well, when these two teams played last year, it was a low-scoring game, and it feels it's been a similar trend tonight, so these types of moments are huge. Here's Roundsville, left side. He's got nowhere to go as Shaniel and Burchett team up for the tackle. And here comes a 3rd and long. That was a loss of about 2 yards, so we're back to the original line of scrimmage.
That was a great tackle.
Yeah,
just came in there, got Burchett and Shaniel coming in together and just dropped him.
Well, after Roundsville was really kind of dicing Newcastle up the first couple of drives, he's had a hard time getting loose these last couple, and now you've got 3rd and long. Huge spot in this game right now. Scramble to back to throw. He'll fire over the middle. It's caught by McAdoo. Touchdown. He absolutely threaded the needle.
He did, and that was the thing you're worried about. When they come in like that, he just is shot up, and, of course, Bradford going back into his coverage, and he cut right across the front of him. And I think the lineman came up ready to tackle Roundsville again, and that just opened up that short slant right there.
Well, that was not poor coverage by Bradford. He was right on him, but Cruz Campbell, we talked about a good quarterback, just slipped it in there. There was not a lot of space, but he got it in there. The extra point is good, and the Tigers are on the board. So 9:21 to go in the first half. Tuttle breaks onto the scoreboard first. They lead at 7-0. See how the Racers respond after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. The Tigers are on the board first as an 18-yard touchdown pass from Cruz Campbell to Brady McAdoo on 3rd and 10 after the interception by Falwell. Gave him a short field. The Tigers capitalize, and they are on the board first here at Gene Reed Field. Boy, we said it right before the break there, Billy, but that was just a really good throw by Cruz Campbell. One of those ones where you kind of have to tip your cap.
You do. You really have to. Normally, the whole game they've been having 2 guys on him, and I think that would have cut that off. But that time you just had man-to-man, and Bradford had great coverage on him just beyond the fingertips.
Yep. So we'll see how the Racers can respond. Back to return is Caden Longman, and I think Schumard, or is that Bradley? I can't tell quickly the number.
Schumard.
And it looks like it's going to be Longman getting a look at it here. He'll field it inside the 5, and he'll get a chance to return. Here's Caden Longman. Ooh, ran into a wall there. As a nice tackle by the Tigers, number 53. That's Cameron McDoulet.
Brought down by number 53, Cameron McDoulet.
Yeah, they had good coverage on that one. They stayed in their lanes. That's what you want to see on a kickoff, is everybody staying in their lanes, and that's what they did. And but he got out there, took it out about 15 yards, 20 yards.
So we'll see how Newcastle can answer. And this has been, this has kind of been the thing, though. When we've done these Newcastle Tuttle games for years, they're always nip and tuck. They're back and forth. And it just, the big moment right there went to the Tigers. And so now how does Newcastle respond to it? This is a big drive.
Well, and I'm looking forward to see how Shaniel bounces back out of that. He's played enough. It shouldn't hold him down too much, but see how he jumps back.
So 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. The Racers get back to it. 9:14 to play in the first half. A beautiful night in Newcastle, Oklahoma. Handoff goes to Bradford across the line. Just couldn't quite shake the
the defender there chasing him, as I think that was 21, which is Jet McCoy.
Good
Does get about 4 yards, though. Yeah, that's a strong name.
That's a good name.
Jet with 2 T's. Solid pick up on first down, though. Sets up 2nd down and 6. 3 receiver set for Shanuel, the running back Bradford once again, and he'll get the ball. Up the middle, Bradford running hard, spins through the first tackle, and fights through a couple other arm tackles to get across the 30 and pick up a first down.
Good run, real good run. Strong holding on to that ball. I know they practice that a lot, not fumbling that, and the first guy just grabbed that football.
Yeah.
He spun out of there and got going.
First down, throw out in the flat to Schumard, and it'll go off the hands. Incomplete. Probably not the worst thing because Schumard did not have anywhere to go.
Yeah, he had one of the Lane brothers and number 18 and 8 there just sniffing the top of his helmet, ready to take him down.
That play looked a little disjointed from the start. Looked like a couple of Racer linemen maybe left a little early, didn't get flagged for it, but it kind of threw the timing all off.
From their own 33-yard line.
So incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. 4 receiver set. Oh, and Brown wasn't set there. That's going to be a penalty. As Brown wasn't quite on the same page. Looked like he was trying to maybe get Shanuel's attention. I'm not sure what happened there, but either way, it's a penalty.
Yeah, and that is not what you need when you need to come back and get this, but you could see the confusion there. That's actually the first time I'd seen Shanuel really try and run it tonight. He kind of did a few into the middle pile, but that time, before they called it back, he was running off left.
So the penalty makes it 2nd and 15. 8:28 on the clock in this first half. Racers trying to respond after Tuttle got the first points of the night. Burchett and Heskew, the 2 men in motion there. Shanuel high snap. He'll give it to Bradford again and runs hard to the middle. And he gets about 4 or 5 up near the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 3rd and long here.
4 yards.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to look at a pass right here.
Yeah.
Number 14, Luke Falwell.
You do have the wind at your back now.
Well, and if you're going to win this game, you're going to have to do some passing.
Yeah.
And I hate that he got the interception right off the bat, but you're going to have to pass and hit some receivers here.
So 3rd and long. Shanuel hard count. Haven't had any defenders jump on those hard counts, which we saw a lot of last week in Newcastle's win over Bartlesville. Shanuel back to pass, pressure in his face. He'll step up. We have a flag coming in as Shanuel is dropped for a sack. As coming in clean off that left side was Wyatt Probst, number 18. He was completely unblocked, and he slung Shanuel to the ground, and a hold on top of that on Newcastle. They're definitely going to decline that. That's one of those, if you're a coach, you pull your hair out when you get a hold on a play that your quarterback got sacked.
Yes. Well, and then not to mention you had a trouble getting into it, had a illegal procedure or false start.
All right.
And just that was a rough series right there.
After the good first down run by Bradford, that set of downs went sideways on Newcastle, so they'll have to punt this and trust their defense, which has been great tonight.
Yes.
So the only Tuttle score came on that short field. And so they'll do the punt. Longman's going to boot it. The Tigers actually have 2 guys back to return. You don't see this all the time on punts, but we're seeing it here as Longman will boot it, and that didn't go anywhere off the side of his foot. And it'll go out of bounds at he's still backing up. Boy, this is a really generous spot.
Very generous.
Generous to Newcastle. Now he's coming up a little bit. And they give him the 42. That's still a little on the generous side because it kind of about landed at the 42.
Yeah.
Obviously, the geometry of that if it's going to the sideline. So.
Yeah. Number 68 on the sideline caught it at the 42.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. Another short field, though, for Tuttle. Can this Racer defense stand up again? It's a big spot. Try to get this momentum back on their side. It's all with Tuttle right now. It's also obviously a 1-score game. A long way to go. We got to – sorry, Billy. Got to flip it back. Fake the handoff. Campbell will throw. Far side looking for Simon again. He's got it coming back to it. And he's racing up the field and tackled down inside the 25. That was another really crisp route by C.J. Simon.
Man, he is just really smart, and you saw him run back as the defenders kept running and just ran up behind him.
Yeah, perfect. First down, throw out, and this time Newcastle was all over it as Simon caught the little bubble screen, but then had nowhere to go. We'll have an injury here for Newcastle. It looks like Hunter Berry, not a guy you want to lose, is on the ground in some pain. Can't really tell what he's favoring. His helmet came off as well. But Barry's in some discomfort. Coach Brickman out there to talk to him. Hopefully nothing major. And so they're going to tend to Barry. We'll go ahead and step aside here. 7:14 to play in the first half. Racers attending to Hunter Berry here as we take a timeout.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
CFD. Our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Hunter Berry helped off the field, coming off very gingerly, favoring look like that right leg. Obviously, not going to speculate, not sure the severity there. Just have to hope for the best. Hope they dodge a bullet, both obviously for him, and he's a key player for this Newcastle team. We talk about it all the time. So
one of the captains.
Hoping the best for Hunter Berry as he's helped off the field. And we'll get ready to get back to action here in just a moment. They attended him for quite a while. And he's being assisted off the field. Looks like they're going to get him onto the cart there to take him wherever they need to be evaluated further. And, again, just have to hope that, nothing too serious. All you can do is hope.
Yeah, that's it, It's a violent game. Anybody tells you otherwise doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like they're taking him into the
up into the locker room and training facility, the field house over here. So wishing the best for Hunter Berry as we try to get back to action here. It's going to be 2nd 11 for the Tigers. 7:14 to play in this first half. And the Tigers are on the 27-yard line. Campbell, he'll throw. Looking deep, got a man. That's McAdoo. Touchdown. Wow. He got behind his defender, Bradford, and cruised in. And Brady McAdoo, who we talked about in pregame, you got to know where he is. He's got 2 touchdowns now, 27-yarder.
And what's impressive about that pass, Campbell, just incredible, dropped it right in the breadbasket against the wind. You really can't say a whole lot about that, but he did. He got back there behind Bradford.
Yeah.
And was just open there. So
23 all set to kick.
So right out of the break, Cruz Campbell, another fantastic throw, dropped it right into McAdoo, who just leaked back behind the defense. They just lost him. And the extra point is up and good. And with 7:08 to play in the first half, the Tigers now have a 2-score lead, 14-0 here at Gene Reed Field. We'll step aside, race our offense, gets the ball back after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium. So Brady McAdoo's second touchdown, 27-yarder, goes 18-yarder earlier. And has the Tuttle Tigers leading Newcastle 14-0. 7:08 to play until halftime. Well, obviously, Billy, long way to go. We talked about it last week. Coach Brickman very good at halftime adjustments. We saw the way Newcastle turned things around in the second half last week. But all that being said, it would be obviously very large if the Racers could just try to put something together here to try and take a little something with them to the locker room, because the last half quarter or so has been rough.
Well, and they need to get back in this. They need to talk. Oh, look at there.
And it's a good return for Caden Longman. This will help. A long return by Longman all the way out across the 40. And a good starting field position coming up for the Racers. That injects a little bit of life into the Newcastle side of things here, as, we kind of talked about during the break. It got a little hit in the mouth over here, a little somber. Right. This place was rocking earlier. You can get it back to that, and with a good drive here, and that's obviously a great start, as the big return from Longman out to the 43.
Well, and that's what you need to look at. You need to see those things, and hopefully anything like that need to break into that. So hopefully this will set some momentum, maybe ease them up. I think this is the best yardage they've had on a kickoff.
So here we go, 1st and 10. Newcastle has been backed up a lot on their drives tonight. Not this time. Good start here at the 43. Bradford next to Shanuel. He'll fake it to him. Shanuel's going to throw. Some pressure, bounce out to the right. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he will out of bounds. Big hit as Shanuel got a race toward the sideline. As coming in and laying the pop there for the Tigers. I think that was Adrian Avalard, number 22. Yeah, Falwell also in there.
He definitely told him hello. He needs to get rid of that a little sooner than that. I think if he had gotten rid of it about half a second sooner and they shoved him like that, we may be 15 yards down the field.
So incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10 for Jackson Shanuel. And this Racer offense just trying to find some semblance of momentum here. Flip out to Schumar, a little bubble screen. He's tackled after a short pickup. And he's only going to get maybe a yard there, so it's going to be 3rd down and long coming up.
On the catch. He's brought down by number 15, Jalen Lane.
Hasn't been a lot of that, vertical passing game. It just hasn't really been there.
They need to get back to kind of how they were spreading it out and kind of balancing it out and just calm down. I think if everything is okay. I mean, we're still looking at 6.5 minutes in the first half. You got a whole second half. Just relax and play football.
3rd and 9. Fake the handoff. Shaniel, good clean pocket this time. Over the middle, it's caught. That's Rex Heskew. And he's breaking tackle, still on his feet. There's a flag at the tail end of this, but Heskew is tackled down inside the 30. They might be dinging Bradford here, or Brown, excuse me, on a block in the back down the field. And that's going to wipe out this first down, I believe, which is painful. That's one of the biggest plays on the night for Newcastle, and it's about to get erased.
That was a great play.
It'll be a spot foul, so it won't all be erased, but it'll be enough to take them back behind the sticks, I believe. I guess we'll wait and see, but.
Yep.
Yeah, so they end up getting about 3-4 yards out of it, but it's going to be 3rd down again.
So yeah, 3rd down and 5. And that was a good play by Heskew.
Oh, huge.
Good, strong run. Just hate to see it come back.
You've seen tonight the couple of times that Daniels had some time and a pocket to work with, the Racers have had guys get loose. And he's, they've had a couple of those plays, but they've just been few and far between. Shaniel's been running for his life a lot of this night so far.
He has. When that line can hold him, and that's a big thing. You hear me every week. It starts in the trenches.
Yeah.
When they're able to kind of keep him and everything in order in front of him, he's able to put it right where he needs it.
So it's going to be, let's see, they're on the 48. They got to get to the other 47. So call it 3rd and 5 with 6:05 to play in the first half.
From their own 48-yard line.
3 receiver set. The running back, Bradford. Brown, the tight end, just off the line to Shaniel's left. Shaniel will throw. Got some time. He'll step up in the pocket here and fire over the middle. It's Heskew again. He's got some room. He's strangled down and tackled at about the 30. That saved a touchdown there because it was all green in front of Heskew, but it's nevertheless a big play and a big first down.
Excellent run. He's an excellent route runner as well. Same thing as we say about Simon. He's good. He's able to fill the defensive guy and get away from him. That's exactly what they needed to just kind of open everything up.
Yeah, big play there. Makes it first down. Hand off to Bradford. Ooh, he got hit hard after a gain of about a yard to the 30. Well, that's a huge play to just get some momentum, get some confidence, get a little rhythm.
And that's something you have to do. You got to play back and forth. Back him up, bring him up, back him up, bring him up. And they need to kind of go back and forth like that. And I think Heskew, the way he's running, it looks like the line is blocking better now. So that may be something they're going to come back to and see.
2nd down and 9 after the short run by Bradford. Brown in motion. Bradford flips which side of Shaniel he's on. And Shaniel will give it to Bradford again, and again nowhere to go as he's wrapped up as a barrage of Tigers in there on that one. As, let's see, we had a few guys there. 53, which is Cameron McDoulet, along with 56, Mikey Turner, both in there, among others.
Yeah, it looked like a linebacker party just right there on top of him.
They were all over that.
So
it's 3rd and 9 still, no gain there. You got to figure 4-down territory here, so you don't have to throw beyond the sticks necessarily on this 3rd down play. 4:38 to play until halftime and counting. Bradley, the running back next to Shaniel. Shaniel will fake it. He'll step up in the pocket and fire down over the middle, looking for Caden Longman. He just overshot him. Longman had a step on Lane. Not a ton of space, but a step. But couldn't quite connect on him, and it's going to go incomplete. Now you got 4th down, and you're probably going to go for this, I suppose.
I think you're going to have to because here's the thing. Even if you punt it.
It's kind of no man's land here.
Right. You're not going to get much farther than the 20 or 15. So let's see what they do.
So 4th and 9, 4 receiver set. Bradley next to Shaniel. They're going to go. See if the Racers can pick up a big first down on 4th. Shaniel going to throw. A lot of pressure coming in his face. He'll just get rid of it. He overshot Bradley as Shaniel got erased. Tuttle brought the house on that. A blitz. And Shaniel had no time. Just had to get rid of it. Couldn't find Bradley. And it's another 4th down stop for this Tigers defense.
Well, I got to tell you, Brady McAdoo, you're not hearing him a whole lot on receptions. Well, I got that last touchdown.
Got 2 touchdowns.
But on the I was thinking last week, too. Anyway, he's all over the place on defense. You see, what's incredible to me is he hits them, knocks them down hard, and then helps them up. I mean, you're seeing him all over the place.
He's doing a little everything right now. And now is your moment of the game right now. Newcastle's got to buckle down and going to stop here before halftime. Can't let Tuttle go 70 yards here. Here's Campbell, play action. Pressure come from behind. He'll fire, look for Simon again. He's got him. And he'll get knocked out of bounds short of the stick, but a good pickup on first down as Campbell finding his guy Simon once again.
And that stops the clock. I don't know if Tuttle meant to do that. He saw Simon over there kind of standing in bounds as long as he could. But you don't want to stop the clock, I don't think, if you're Tuttle.
2nd down and 3. Hand off Roundsville, 1st down and more. He'll get popped down at the 45, but a good run, picks up another 1st down, moves the chains for the Tigers once again.
Brought down by number 16, Trey Burchett.
That's good. And going down low is about the only way you're going to stop him. At first, you're seeing guys trying to grab him up high, and you're not going to stop him up high. You're going to have to get him below the waist.
1st and 10 at the 45. Handoff, Brownsville breaks the first tackle, runs forward, takes a shot from the side, but not before he gets about 4 more. And it's going to be 2nd down at about 6 now. And we got another injured racer down. Can't quite make out the number from here. But another Newcastle player down on the turf.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see the numbers coming over here and just deduct it.
And a painful half here for Newcastle. Another injured player down will take a timeout while they attend to him. 3:54 and play until halftime. Tuttle on the move, already up 14-0 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
Back to Racer Stadium. Trey Burchett was the injured player down, but he was able to come off under his own power, so hopefully no big deal there. He'll get back in the game soon. Meanwhile, back to action here, 2nd and 5. Campbell hands it to Roundsville. Goes around the right side, didn't really have anywhere to go as he's wrangled down a few racers getting in the mix there.
That was a good team tackle over there. One guy hit him, then another guy hit him, then another guy hit him, and you like seeing that. That's about the only way you're going to get him is you got to slow him down until other teammates can get to him.
I think I saw Ashton Schumard, 14, and Cody Nix, 71, among others on that. There's a big 3rd down. Goes to Radsville, breaks the first tackle, runs forward. He's got the 1st down, and tackled down just shy of the 40-yard line. Boy, that was so close to it being a big negative play and a stop. But instead it's a 1st down for the Tigers, and now another racer is slow to get up. This is Nix, 71, who's up and hobbling over to the huddle, trying to stay in the game. But they're going to pull him out, at least for a snap here. As it looks like Blake Allen will relieve him. Boy, so close to getting Roundsville in the backfield there, Billy, and instead he breaks free, which he's done a lot tonight, and gets a 1st down out of it.
Boy, and they could have used that. Boy, they could have used that.
1st and 10 Tuttle.
You got both Simon and McAdoo down here on the lower side.
1st and 10 at the 41. More Roundsville, left side. And only a short pickup there. Good job by a couple of racers. Scagnetti in on the tackle, along with Thomas Barbie.
And number 31.
Yeah, Barbie's the one that came in there for Burchett. For Burchett, pardon me. And so that's good to see him get in there. But boy, Scagnetti believes in the hit first and you won't get hurt mentality.
Scagnetti has been everywhere these first 6 quarters of the season.
2nd and 8.
Trey Burchett down here in front of us on the near sideline. He's running around a little bit trying to test out whatever it is that he dinged up. So hopefully he'll get back in there soon. Meanwhile, back to action. Campbell fires far side looking for McAdoo, and that skipped off the turf. It's in the air.
Oh,
it's
wow.
picked off.
My goodness.
A wild play results in interception.
Number 3,
It's Ian Barker, number 3, who came up with it. We got to take a look at this one on the Eric Ledoux instant replay. What happened on this play as it was bobbled by McAdoo, kicked in the air, and then Barker just right there, Johnny on the spot. Wow, what a fortunate bounce for the Racers. Eric Ledoux, State Farm instant replay, and Newcastle desperately needed that.
Yes, 2.5 minutes left to go. You got 2 timeouts still. You need to get down the field and get going. Hopefully this is a momentum that they need because I don't know that they've had much momentum all night. This would be great going into halftime.
At the very least, you got to stop. Now you try to work that clock down, to
not give it back.
Yeah, right. To at least get to the half. No worse off than you are right now.
1st and 10 Racers from their own 28.
So 14-0, and the Racers have it back. 2:27, 2 timeouts to work with. Shaniel, he'll fire far side, pass is caught. We're going to get up the sideline. This is Caden Longman. He's got speed. He's across midfield and popped down right there. But a big catch and run for Longman on the little bubble screen. And there's a flag down way in the back toward the line of scrimmage. This one might be coming back again.
So it looks like that's what the ref is telling him, telling the head official. And you see the Racers are walking back.
It seems like every time Newcastle's had a big play to just thinking maybe flipping the momentum a little bit, it comes back.
Holding on the offense.
You cannot win a game that way. You cannot get momentum that way. You get these great runs, you get the crowd into it, you get the other players into it, and then it comes back. Those are just hard to see and hard to go through.
So the holding obviously erases the play, and we'll back them all the way up to the, where are they calling this thing, on the 22. So it's going to be a 1st and 16.
That's what it looks like.
22 got to get to the 38, so 1st and 16. Shaniel takes the snap. Back to pass. Will fire on the flat pass. Is caught by Bradford. Ball came out. He got hit and that ball came out, but it looks like he got back on it.
Pass is complete to number 5.
That was scary because once he got popped, you could see from up here that ball came shooting out, but Bradford able to get back on it.
Well, they need to hurry up and get down there. I know 2 minutes left, but
I think you slow play it. I think you try to get to halftime right now if you're Newcastle. You're looking at a 2nd down and what is that, 13 now with 1:50 to play until halftime. Tuttle's got all their timeouts to work with as well, so Tigers are going to have an opportunity if they can get a stop. Fake the handoff. Shane will keep it up the middle, running hard. He takes a big hit, but he bounces off. Does a good job to stay on his feet and fall forward for an extra few yards to the 34. Sets up a 3rd down and 4.
He's brought down by number 2, Zarian Kendall.
So a good run there by Shanuel. Newcastle trying to get something going here. It's a fine line. Don't want to go too fast because you get stopped. You leave Tuttle time, but also if you're going to make something happen, you got to kind of hurry. What's the difference?
Well, my thinking is just go in 14-7. It's a whole lot different than 14-0.
3rd down. Fake the handoff. Shaniel will fire far side pass. Caught by Bradford, but he got squashed. An immediate hit laid on him by one of the lanes. That's Jordan Lane, number 10. And it's going to be 4th down, and the Tigers are going to burn their first time out. Clock's still ticking. They're going to have to put some time back on because Tuttle told timeout several seconds ago. It's 49 is where it settles, but they're going to put some time back on.
So what do? Kick it as hard as you can? Or?
Oh, yes. You punt this, get to half, and try to reset some things. We saw it last week.
We did.
The 2nd quarter didn't go well, I guess you could say, for Newcastle last week against Bartlesville, and they completely flipped it in that second half. You're hoping for a similar result tonight.
Well, and that's, the talking. We've talked about it for the last 5 years. Brickman is really good at halftime. Talking to him, I think they're going to have to come out with some faster plays, get it out of there as fast as possible. You got to get on the other side of the front seven. Tonight they're having a hard time doing that, even on these passes out in the flat. Those front seven are just so fast. They're getting back there to the quarterback. Something that fast, catch them off guard, make them overrun the play. About the only thing that you're going to be able to get going tonight. I think that's one of the things to talk about at halftime.
So they did put some time back on. It's up to 54 seconds. Tuttle have 2 timeouts to work with. So Tuttle took a timeout there. So they're down to 2. And they'll have 54 seconds to work with. So they'll have certainly an opportunity to try and make something happen to try and add on to their lead going into halftime. Lawman will do the honors of the punt. Had a rough one earlier. This one much better. He booms this thing down. It's going to bounce to the 25 and roll sideways a little bit and settle there just in front of the 25 with 40 seconds exactly.
Well, I got to take my hat off there to Longman. That was a good punt. Excellent punt. One they needed. One of the best things about that punt is the fact that they kicked it beyond McAdoo, and so it went farther back. We got a couple of flags out here after the play.
I didn't see what happened. I heard some reaction from the crowd. So we'll see what the call is here. Could be big. I mean, they're out the 25, but you give them 15 yards up to the 40. That makes a big difference. Also, the other way makes a big difference because Tuttle will be backed up in their own end. So big call here one way or another.
Well, I'm hoping it's offsetting because at 15-1, 15 the other, if they are 2 fouls called on one team, that's going to change this field immensely.
So we'll see what they call here. Stick with us at halftime, by the way. Billy and I will wrap up the first half. We'll step aside. We'll let the bands do their thing here at Racer Stadium, both the Racer Faithful as well as the Tuttle band here. As they've emptied their area, so they're going to be taking the field, I believe, as well. You can watch those performances right here on the broadcast stream, and then we'll rejoin you. Give you some scores around the state tonight on a loaded Friday night of high school football in Oklahoma, and then we'll get you ready for the second half. It is Tri-City rivalry matchup on the Oklahoma Sports Network. So, still waiting for an official anything here. The head official in the white hat is discussing with Coach Ballard something. Coach Ballard doesn't look crazy about it.
No, he does
Just
not.
Body language from across the field.
They're definitely not acting like they're wanting steak after the game. In fact, it looks like Ballard's calling for another official.
All right, so it looks like they're going to call personal fouls on both teams here.
Oh, no. Both on Newcastle, it looked like.
And now the official coming to explain to Coach Brickman what exactly happened here.
Okay, it looks like he made a mistake.
Okay, he signaled the wrong direction.
Personal foul on Tuttle.
They were both on Tuttle.
Both on Tuttle. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's going to take it back to the 5-yard line.
The body language of Coach Brickman, he was beside himself, but he seemed pretty content with the explanation pretty fast, and so you can see why. They were not both on Newcastle, they were both on Tuttle.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him move sideways without moving his feet. I mean, he just vibrated like, what? So I think it'll be 15 on the first one, going back from the 25.
I think you
and
just
then
enforce.
Halfway.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to enforce this.
Well, I think from there you have to go halfway.
Well, it'd be half the distance, right? Yeah. Half the distance to the 12.
And then down to the 6, I guess.
Depends on if you enforce them both. It just, I don't think you necessarily do.
Now, do they have the 2 personal fouls and you're out of the game at this level, or is that just at
I think it depends on what kind of personal foul.
Well, I was just thinking if they were both on the same player. It looks like they just took it back to 1.
Yes, they did half the distance from the 25, and so it's at the 12 and a half.
First and 10 Tuttle from their own 13-yard line.
So, 40 seconds. We'll see how aggressive Tuttle is here. They do have 2 timeouts, but you don't want to mess around and make a big mistake here. You've played a good first half if you're Tuttle, so you're probably, I would imagine, play it relatively conservatively here and just get to halftime.
Well,
Newcastle will start the second half with the ball.
Well, and handing it off to Roundsville hasn't been too bad of a job tonight.
No.
Oh.
Fumble snap, and Campbell will jump on, and that's what you're scared of if you're Tuttle, is something like that.
Snap is fumbled. Recovered by number 12, Curtis Campbell.
And now Newcastle takes a timeout.
Yeah. Got to take my hat off to Cademan there. He could have come in and just cleaned Campbell's clock. Instead, he chose not to dive down for the ball and just kind of gave him a love tap on the helmet and ran past him.
I'm a little surprised at this timeout for Newcastle. You only have one left. So I don't know what this does for you outside of maybe giving Tuttle another chance to break one. You know what I mean? Because if Tuttle's going to run the ball again, and if it goes nowhere, they're content to let it run out.
Right.
Well, if it's a big run, now they're going to try and score. So there doesn't seem like there's a lot to gain if I'm Newcastle. Maybe I'm totally misreading that.
Well, I'm wondering, especially after watching the flubbed catch there by the quarterback, maybe they're thinking something like that. I'm kind of with you. Not sure. Now I'm going to trust them. They get paid much more money than me. But I'm wondering if they think they can stop them a few times and maybe get the ball from them, a fumble, interception, something like that. I'm not sure, but
that would probably be the counter argument is they are backed up in their own end. You make them snap it a couple more times. Maybe you get lucky with some sort of a turnover. That would probably be – I have to imagine that would be the thought
right
here.
But the way this game is going –
there's not with only one timeout where the clock is, you can't force them to punt.
Right.
They're not going to punt unless they throw 2 incomplete passes. But they're not going to – they're going to run the ball.
Well, and this game going so far, I don't see a surprise.
Here's a run to the left side by Roundsville. And now Newcastle take their last timeout.
Right down by number 15, Jackson Shanu.
On the clock camera here.
Oh, wow. A dinosaur has landed.
We've got an infestation up here.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
It's a pterodactyl bug.
That's terrifying, though. I'll say that. I'm ready to get out of here halftime. Oh, Carson's going to go for it. Scary. Oh, man.
Oh, my
Look at
goodness.
that. Look how you can still see it way over there. It's like a bird. Billy stepped up and saved the crew. We had a suspicious creature up here, but Billy took care of it.
Well, and you have to know that they have us up on top of the press box this year. And so we're a little bit higher and closer to the light, so there's probably a little more action.
That's a phenomenal point.
Things.
Yeah, we're not down amongst the crowd like we've been. I kind of like the vantage point up here, though. I've kind of gotten used to it. We got a little more space. Kind of like it up here.
Nice air.
It is breezy up here. That's not an issue.
No.
Later in the season, that could be tough. Those November games might be a challenge up here.
Oh.
Hopefully, the heat pouring out of that opening. We might need to bring a heater up here.
That's true. Oh.
So then Tuttle. That's kind of what I was anticipating would happen.
Yeah.
And that's where I was kind of confused. So they take a knee, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half.
Tuttle Lexington knee.
So an interesting half. Obviously, I mean,
Tuttle Tigers 14, Newcastle.
Newcastle's defense was really good for a lot of it. It really flipped, just kind of like last week against Bartlesville. It flipped on interception. It flipped on interception in this game. Tuttle ended up getting another score out of it and having a 2-score lead. And that's where we're at the half here. So, final thought for you in this first half, Billy.
Throw
it
away.
They're down 2 scores. It's not,
Yeah. I think this first half, let's put it away. We've learned some things. I think some of their plays that I saw in the first half just took so much time to develop.
Yeah.
And Tuttle's too fast of a defense. And so I think you're going to have to get some quicker plays, quicker calls. I would even maybe go accelerated offense. Get up to the line fast. Don't let them get set and ready to go. But I think there'll be some adjustments like that. Also, just have to make sure the team knows we still got 24 minutes. This game is only halfway done.
Right.
So it's not over. Come back, wear them down, get some things going. I think is where they're going to have to go. They're going to have to wear the Tuttle down.
For sure. I'm 100% with you. Newcastle's obviously still certainly in this game, just 2 scores back. And so we'll see what they can do, what adjustments they can make, and try to work their way back into it in the second half. All right, so we'll step aside here. We got Palm Squad going right now. The 2 bands will perform as well here at Racer Stadium. And then Billy and I will rejoin you in just a little bit. We'll give you some scores. We'll get you all ready for the second half. Tuttle leads at 14-0 after 2 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Now entering the field, the pride of Tiger Country, the 2024 Tuttle High School Tiger Pride Marching Band. The Tuttle bands are under the direction of Director of Bands Taylor Steyer and Assistant Directors Katie Steyer and Audrey Johnson. Additional staff includes Color Guard Director Sarah Smith. Marching Band Program Coordinator is Todd James. Tonight's performance features soloists Elijah Grabessa, Noah Schmidt, Avery Mitchell, and Blake McCain. The Tuttle Marching Band is led by drum majors Senior Victoria Voiles and Junior Haley Roberts. Follow the Pride's journey as our soloists guide you through a world where classics meet contemporary, where the lords meet ladies, bold color melts into regal palette. Crowns are intertwined with thorns, and thorns become the stage for music. Presenting their 2024 production, Musical Thrones, the Tuttle High School Marching Band.
necessary service for whatever life throws at you. That's insurance with AAA.
Contemporary Family Dentistry Newcastle has been serving the Tri-City community since 2008 and is excited to announce the opening of our second location in Blanchard. Don't have dental insurance? That's not a problem at Contemporary Family Dentistry. We have a $250 annual membership that covers cleanings and exams, eliminating the feeling that you can't go to the dentist. For more information, visit our website at www.cfdok.com.
Now entering the field, the Newcastle Racer Band. The Racer Band is led onto the field by drum majors Caitlin Lewis and Abby Barnes. The Racer Band is under the direction of Mr. Ryan Siebert and Miss Whitney Callan. Additional staff includes Luke Baker, Jay Thompson, and Kendrick Brown. Drill written by Dr. Genevieve Craig, music arranged by Mr. Mark Miller, choreography by Emily Perkins. The Racer Band would like to thank their 2024 and 2025 sponsors: OEC Electric and Fiber, Titan AVL, Hideaway Pizza, Mathis Home, Scooters Coffee, the McCullough Family, Russell Lewis LLC, Lewis and the McCullough Estate Attorneys, Tinker Federal Credit Union, Sooner State Bank, Harmony Health, Contemporary Family Dentistry, and Cassie Brock. Thank you for your support. Our 2024 program is titled Celebration, featuring the music of J.S. Bach, Bernard Herrmann, Danny Elfman, Andrew Gold, and Bobby Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. It's going to be a spectacular celebration of rattling rib cages and music to die for. We are proud to present drum majors Caitlin Lewis and Abby Barnes and the Newcastle Racer Band.
no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Alrighty, back here at Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production. Uriah Martinez working the camera. Great performances from both bands there at halftime. We've had a chance to kind of collect our thoughts, and we're getting ready to start the second half. Before we do that, Billy, some scores around the state tonight. Busy night, like we said, for high school football. A lot of big games. What are some scores that are catching your eye?
Well, and starting here at 5A, is just some Poto is leading McAllister only by 2 at Poto. So that's a bit of a surprise. Blanchard just beating up on Noble. Sapulpa Tahlequah is winning 10-7.
What was that Blanchard Noble? What is that score?
Blanchard's 28-0.
28-0. Wow. Noble's who Tuttle will play next week, by the way.
So that was good. Let me get to some big games.
My Owasso Rams are playing Jinx tonight.
Yeah, they're tied up.
Fresh off that big win over Bixby last week. Quite a statement.
That was a good win.
Anytime Bixby loses, it's news.
That's right.
It's news.
With some big ones going on around here. You got the Battle of the Bishops. Oh, there you got Bishop McGinnis leading Bishop Kelly by 8.
We'll see Bishop McGinnis later this season. The Fighting Irish come here to Racer Stadium.
So that's 25-17. You got Piedmont beating El Reno 13-7. Look at some of these others here.
Look at Wagner all over Coweta. Holy moly, 30-7.
just beating them up.
They're a machine.
You got Mount St. Mary beating Community Christian 19-7. Battle of the Putnam Cities. You got Putnam City beating Putnam West 30-0. That's a little surprise. There's Jinx and Owasso tied at halftime, 14-14.
Yeah, that's a battle.
Shawnee and PC North. PC North is just beating them like a drum, 19-0 in the third quarter. So here's some other big games here. McAllister Poto, already talked about that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Davis, Pauls Valley. Pauls Valley's leading by 10.
Not to put you on the spot, the final maybe filter out to 6A. Norman North tonight. I'm always a little curious in how those that big rivalry goes. Also, the Lawton schools on OSN is in action tonight as well.
Yeah, I think that's 6A. Is that correct?
Norman North, yes. Lawton, MacArthur, Eisenhower would be under 5A because MacArthur's in 5A.
Let's see what I got 6A here.
Let's see. Edmond Santa Fe. Wow, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, Edmond Santa Fe beating Edmond North 28-20 at halftime. That's a lot of points. Bixby is beating up on Sand Springs. They're kind of upset from last week.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
So that's 36-7 there.
There's Norman North.
Mustang is beating Yukon 31-0. Norman is leading them 16-6. Southmore is beating Westmore.
What's going on with that Stillwater Union score?
Wow, Stillwater 21-0 over Union at Stillwater.
Wouldn't expect that. Yeah, that's 6A2 versus 6A. All right, we're about ready to get the second half started. Billy, quickly for you here as they get running out there. Quick key, what are you watching for? What does Newcastle need to do to turn this thing around and try to make a comeback here?
Well, I think they're going to have to go a little faster. They're going to have to catch that defense over pursuing. Tuttle has some fast linebackers, able to get in there pretty fast, and so they're going to have to catch them over pursuing. and they're going to have to get their plays out of the backfield faster.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get moving vertical.
I'll give you a very simplistic key. Score on this drive.
Yes.
You got to get the second half off to a good start. It's a huge drive to start this second half.
Well, and you remember that's what they did last week is they grabbed the momentum right at the first and held on to the momentum all the way till the very end. The 7 points that Bartlesville scored was just kind of in mop-up duty. So they got to grab momentum right now and take it.
Absolutely. Kick is away. Tuttle boots it. It'll be ran down and pulled in inside the 5 by Longman, who had a nice return earlier, and Longman will spin down just past the 20. By the way, our kickoff sponsor, First United Bank. First United Bank with over 80 locations across Oklahoma and Texas. A family bank in every sense of the word. Family owned and operated, built on family values, treating you like family. Spend life wisely, member FDIC. Our third quarter sponsor, up in the corner, OEC, taking high-speed fiber where no one else will. No contracts, no fees. Just a good connection, bringing you the power of high-speed fiber services to your door. Check them out at oecfiber.com. That's the Oklahoma Electric Cooperative, OEC. So here we go, second half. Big drive here to start this third quarter. Jackson Shanuel, the quarterback. TJ Bradford, the running back next to him, and he'll get the ball. Actually, Shanuel's going to keep it and run forward for a couple of yards. Not a big gain on first down.
That was a real good keeper because I watched T.J. Bradford just disappear into big number 53 there for Tuttle. And so that was a good keep, picked up a few yards.
So it'll be second down and 8. And yeah, in our time doing this, we've done a lot of these Newcastle games now. We've not seen a lot of halves like the one we saw where Newcastle has such a hard time moving the ball. Shut out in the first half, see if they can get it better in the second half. As run for Bradford won't go for much. Our good friends at Trinity Restoration, they're not getting any love. The Red Zone sponsor has not been used tonight. Hopefully they can get in there, hopefully on this drive. But not a great start. It's going to be 3rd and 7 after 2 run plays didn't muster much.
Well, and they're going to have to get some passes going. They're going to have to hit some of those. And Tuttle's going to be expecting pass right here.
3rd and 7. Shanuel will drop back to pass. Pretty good pocket here over the middle. Pass diving for and caught. Who else? Rex Heskew. First down Racers.
He is Mr. Clutch.
Yeah,
right
on the
there.
big downs, that's where Shanuel's looking.
And he got there fast. If you think about it, he got 20 yards down there. About 18 yards down there in a matter of about 2 seconds.
That was a dart of a throw by Jackson Shanuel. Like we said tonight, when he's had time, he's delivered some nice throws. The problem is that hasn't happened a lot. As Shanuel runs hard up the middle, almost broke that. But he does get about 5 yards out of it. And we'll see now if that first down can maybe get the ball rolling a little bit on this drive for Newcastle.
Well, it's good to see that. We didn't see a lot of those hard runs by Shanuel in the first half. I saw a couple, but it's good to kind of throw that in there, make the defense think.
Second down and 4.5 or so. Got to get past the 50 to the Tuttle 49 for a first down. Shanuel takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff to Bradford. Back to pass. Again, a pretty good pocket, but it's going to be a hold. Shanuel's going to fire. Pass is caught inside the 35. A good cutback and a big gain for first down and a lot more, but the penalty flag is going to wipe this out. As a long pass up to Schumard.
And that was another dart. I mean, just a good, strong throw. I hate that it's getting called back here.
Yeah, that's a big swing. I mean, you're talking about a 30-yard gain, so it's going to be a 10-yard loss on the hold, which, again, has been a common theme tonight. Newcastle's had a lot of big plays wiped out on holding penalties tonight.
Well, and that'd be something they'll look at in film and stuff. And just, you see that a lot of times when the quarterback runs out of the pocket, you just got some lineman's hands stuck there in the jersey. So, but that's just a killer tonight. Seems like it's about the 5th big play that's
just deflating when it happens.
37-yard line.
And so the penalty backs him up. Second down and 14 it'll be. Shanuel, he'll throw. Fires out to the near side. Pass is caught by Schumard at the 45. Breaks one tackle. Got plastered on his next one, but does get to the 46. So a good pickup there. Sets up a 3rd and manageable. Going to be a 3rd down and about 5, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a good play. Again, getting it out of there faster, I think, is helping them out. And with these passes, that's going to back up their defense a little bit.
46-yard line.
Early on here in the second half, you're seeing, I feel like Shane will have a little more, some clean pockets to kind of work with, step into some of these throws. Good start.
Well, and here you got them spread out with 4 receivers, so that could easily be a run for Bradford because you got all those defenders out of the way.
Now, Newcastle's going to have to burn an early timeout. Probably not something you're thrilled about, but at the same time, if you don't see something right, this is a huge play. This is a huge spot early in this game. Like I said, Newcastle really needs to put together a drive and get some points here. And so you want to make sure you got everything the way you want it. And take a timeout to make sure you got that.
Well, and stay in their ears. Stay in their ears. Make them know you've got to play. You've got the plays that will win the game.
Yeah.
Just got to stay with it. Keep going with it. You got to talk to them about the holds. Those will just kill you. But I think your receivers are running good routes. They're running with confidence. You got Shaniel. It looks like he's building his confidence back for making those passes. Those are he's making some strong passes where earlier he kind of floated a couple.
So big 3rd and 5. We've talked about it for years. Out of timeouts, specifically on offense, usually Coach Brickman is able to dial something up that comes through pretty well. We'll see what he comes up with here. 4 wide. The running back, Bradford, next to Shanuel, and that's going to be a killer false start. As instead of 3rd and 5, you got 3rd and 10. And now, in essence, that timeout kind of goes out the window because whatever you just talked about, it doesn't probably really apply on 3rd and 10.
Well, and that was the center just getting a little anxious. I think the guy coming in showing blitz over the top of the line kind of got him out of his timing.
So now you got 3rd and 10. I'd be interested to see if they would go for it on 4th down if they could get this close. We'll find out. Potentially. 3rd and 10. Shanuel back to pass some pressure. He'll step up in the pocket. He's going to take off and run. Breaks a tackle. Shanuel breaking through, diving across. That's a first down on 3rd and 10. Shanuel scrambles up the middle and moves the sticks.
That was a great job, and you watch the line. I wonder if that was even planned because the line kind of spread everybody out to the left and right, and they gave him room to run up the middle.
There was nobody in the middle of the field.
Nobody.
Yeah, Shanuel able to come through, so a big conversion there. Sets up 1st and 10 on Tuttle's side of the 50. Run to Bradford again here up the middle, inside the 45 to the 44. About a 4-yard pickup.
That was a good run right there. Again, they were blitzing, ready for another pass, and you just run Bradford right behind the blitzers. He picks up a good 4, it looks like, maybe 3.
Yeah, looks like they end up giving him the 45, so you're right, about a 3-yard gain.
Brings up 2nd and 7 from the Tuttle 45-yard line.
8:25 and counting to go in this 3rd quarter. Shanuel back to pass again. Another good, clean pocket. He'll fire, looking for Hesku at the sideline, just off the fingertips of Rex Hesku. Not a bad ball from Shanuel, just a touch too far. It was a tight window he was trying to fit that into, and he almost did, but Hesku not quite able to pull that in.
They're pretty tall for him. I see that running sideways, you're not able to really leap and jump too much for it. So just off his fingertips.
So the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 7, 8:16 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 7 from the Tuttle 45.
Shanuel fake the hand up to Bradford, back to pass. Again with some time, rolls out to his left. Got some room here. He's going to drop back, though. He's going to have to get rid of it. Tuttle's come crashing in on him. He has to throw it away. Boy, there was 5 or 6 white jerseys just crashing in toward him. And he just had nowhere to throw it, so he had to get rid of it. Now you got 4th down. What do you do if you're Newcastle now?
I don't know. I would say pin them deep this early in the half. But it looks like they may go for it. That was just a coverage thing. You had about 6 white shirts back there in the back. You can see they're backed up now on 4th down.
That's what they'll do. Wouldn't rule out Shanuel punting it. We saw that earlier, so kind of have to wait and see on this. Seems like Shanuel is pretty far back there. He might be punting this. 4th and 7, and he will do just that. So they'll play defense. And it's going to roll into the end zone, so you're only going to net
26,
25, 26 yards, But Tuttle will start back on their own 20-yard line, 7:59 to go in the 3rd quarter. So not a, they put together a little bit of a drive there, but it stalls out just past the 50.
And Tuttle get the ball back up by 2 scores.
Well, let's see if the defense, see how they do. He kept them pinned down pretty much the whole game, just a couple of plays here and there.
The short field off the interception. Yeah, then they had another short field off the ensuing possession and cashed that in.
So let's see if they can go, get a little aggressive, and take the ball back.
So a big drive here. Obviously, they're all kind of big now, but if you're Tuttle, you're thinking we can really put ourselves in good shape with a score here. Here's Roundsville on first down. Not going to go for much, just a couple.
Well, and they know that if it's not going to be a pass, it's going to go to Roundsville. I don't know that they've even gave it to anybody else.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't seen a quarterback run. I think they may have flipped it to
yeah, they did a little jet sweep once, maybe to Lane, or was it Simon? I can't remember.
Simon, I believe. So.
Second down and long. Bless you, Carson. Roundsville around the left side. That's going to be a first down. There is a flag down, though. So this one probably coming back.
That looks like
There's
it.
a flag on the play.
Hey, I'm going to have to come up with a new name than Holdville. There's got to be some good
You're going
ones.
to have to get, at least, especially tonight, it's not that bad when you only have to say it 2 or 3 times, but whenever there's been 15 holdings in one game.
Right.
Because there has been a lot. I don't know if that's just these 2 teams getting after each other a little bit early in the season. Maybe this crew in particular is a little, whatever I'm looking for here is prone to throwing, they have a quick trigger on holds. Who knows?
Right.
But for whatever reason, there has been a lot of holding penalties tonight, both teams.
Well, and that may be a way, I've known of officials that will get harder on flags and stuff just to kind of keep the temperature of the game down.
Yeah.
And so there may be some of that, so we'll see.
So it's another big penalty in this game as now Tuttle's backed up. Second down and 20. On their own 15, got to get all the way up to their own 10, got to get up to the 30. Second down, they're all going to run it with Roundsville to the left side. Not a lot there at all. He'll get just 1 or 2 yards. And so now Newcastle's got an opportunity here. You got them backed up. They're in their own end. It's a 3rd and long. You get a stop here. You got a chance to get yourself pretty good field position going back the other way.
Well, you're going to have to stay on Simon. This is usually where they go to him, and he will run. He'll run as fast as he can, about 15 yards, and come back 10 to make up the rest of his own. So let's see what they do here.
So 3rd down and very long here. We'll see how aggressive Tuttle is in terms of throwing this thing down the field, or if they just want to try and get some yardage back. 4 wide for Campbell. Fake the hand up to Roundsville. Pressure in. Campbell steps up in the pocket, breaks 1 tackle. He'll fire to the sideline, caught by McAdoo. Did he get his feet in?
I don't see his.
I'm waiting for a signal. Officials running down there. They're saying he caught that. Wow. Toe tap right on the sideline. And on 3rd and 18, the Tigers pick up 21 and get a first down.
Man, that's just a back killer there.
That's a gut punch. What a throw by Campbell on the run.
Great throw.
So it's a first down for the Tigers right on their own sideline. The toe tap by McAdoo. First down. Now a little quick pass here is caught. And tackled down at about the 43. That's Zarian Kindle, not a name we said tonight.
Yeah, he's a transfer out of Mustang. Come down here to play with Tuttle. He's a good receiver, had some good yards last week.
And the Tigers do get a first down on that. It looked like they were going to maybe keep him just short, but they gave it to him. So it's a first down up to the 44. So Tigers on the move.
Nope.
And now a Newcastle player going down. That's Heskew way back behind the play here. Not sure what happened there. Maybe cramped up.
Just sat down.
He's going to try and kind of limp off the field a little bit here.
Make sure to make note.
We have 6-11. We'll stick here because he's coming right off, so this may not be a very long break in the action. Reminder, we'll be back at it next week, but before that is the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show, which is every Tuesday night on the Oklahoma Sports Network, 6:30 start time, from Luigi's. Luigi's, dedicated to the memory of their grandfather who installed in the family a love of Italian food. They are family-owned, providing exceptional service and unforgettable experience. We look forward to welcoming you to our family table. 3 locations in Yukon, Chickasha, and, of course, in Newcastle. 4615 Southwest 179th Street, which is where the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show is held every Tuesday night. Come out and watch the show in person, if not live on OSN, with the great Gene Reed, who, of course, runs the show on Tuesday nights for us. We had some Luigi's before the game tonight here at they cater the games here at home, and it was fantastic. That pesto pasta, I put that thing away.
Yeah, you did.
It was phenomenal.
Makes me angry.
Shout out Luigi's. hand off Roundsville. Does a good job to cut back, and still end up getting about 4 or 5 out of that.
That's a great job there. I didn't see who the number was. It may have been number 7 there that kept him on the inside where he couldn't break to the outside. A good tackle.
Tucker Brown, 7 for Newcastle.
Good tackle there, though, Taj.
Past the midway point of the third. Tigers kind of melting that clock a little bit. Clock is their friend right now. We're getting by 2 scores. Here's Roundsville again, up the middle. He's got the first down and more. He gets popped by Shanuel, but not until he already moved the sticks and gets down to the 42.
27 Roundsville on the run around the right side.
Well, he's just running with force.
Yeah.
You know.
And we talked about it, that game against Guthrie. They really had a hard time running the ball, didn't pile up the rushing numbers, but tonight it's been an emphasis. We talked about that in pregame. Would it be? It has been, and it's worked quite well.
Well, and I don't know that they have stopped Roundsville more than about twice for negative yards.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when he touches, he's getting at least 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. And that's all you need. You just keep doing it. You break a couple big ones here and there, and that's all you need. 1st and 10. Back to him again. Up the middle, running hard. And again, 4 or 5 yard pickup. Give him 5. Up to the 36.
Yeah, just running up the middle like that. Good tackle by Scagnetti.
Yeah.
Just grabbing him, bringing him down.
From the 36-yard line.
Moving right along here in this third quarter. Tuttle kind of going for the throat right now, really working that clock and marching down the field. This drive started way back in their own end after the touchback. Roundsville again to the left side. It's going to be a 1st down and more inside the 30. We have a flag flying in.
27 Roundsville on the run.
As Roundsville got down to the 28 for another 1st down, but another penalty here might be backing up the Tigers once again.
Well, Roundsville came up kind of grabbing his face mask like he thought it was a face mask. I hope that's not it. No, it's a hold.
That's a hold.
I hate to say that, holding good.
So the hold goes against Tuttle. And we'll wipe out that play and back him up. Happened earlier, and Newcastle couldn't capitalize as the Tigers picked up a 3rd and 18 way back in their own end. Have another opportunity here with them behind the chains.
And, you know, the optimism is you just feel like it's just right there on the edge of doing something. And so you're just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like Tuttle's given us an opportunity to do that.
The 37-yard line.
So they're not going to be behind this change because the hold was down the field. So it kind of just almost pretty much just washes out the play.
Right.
So it's actually 2nd and 6 after the penalty. But you're right. I mean, Newcastle still just 2 scores back. It feels like a lot more because they're obviously the goose egg on the scoreboard. But you're one huge play from this being interesting. But they got to find a way to get that huge play as Roundsville runs hard again. And this is going to be a 1st down inside the 30.
27 Roundsville on the run.
He is just not going to go down at the line. He's going to push you and push you and push you and push you. And so they're going to have what would you do in this situation? You got to back.
I don't know. I guess you load the box. But the thing is that Campbell has cut you up pretty good a few times. And so is playing a good team. So is the challenge of playing an offense that's got so many good playmakers all over the place and a really good quarterback that can get it out to them. That's what Tuttle is. Roundsville again in a short gain this time. Yeah, good job by Taj Smith wrangling him for a gain of just a couple.
I think that's the first time I've seen Roundsville go down with the first guy grabbing him with, usually they're having a team tackle him, but held him to 2.
So it'll be 2nd down coming up. Second and 8, we'll call it. Continue to feed him. Bounce on the left side, cuts back up the middle. Does a good job to fight his way down near the 20, give him the 21. And it's going to be a 3rd down and short. 3rd and 3.
27 Roundsville on the run.
As Newcastle desperately tries to find a way to stop this drive. Tuttle has quickly dashed a lot of this third quarter clock.
Yes, and you know what they're going to do right here. I don't know anybody if be surprised, but they're already down almost to 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Running again. Roundsville up the middle. Got it. 1st down to the 17. Didn't get it by a lot, but You don't need to. You get past that stick, it's a first down all the same. And back in the red zone.
Finally, Trinity Restoration.
Typically, it's when Newcastle's in the red zone.
Oh, is it?
I mean, typically.
Yeah. They just got to do something to stop Roundsville.
Easier said than done, I think.
Very much. They don't want me down there. I'd be like Olay.
1st and 10 at the 17. Low snap, and Campbell mishandled it, had to get back on it. Second time we've seen that happen tonight. Both times Campbell just laid on it. Loss of a few.
Yeah. We'll take it. That's a good stop on Roundsville. We'll just say thank you, God, and move on.
The yards go to Campbell.
Yeah, I know. I know. Just waiting for something to happen. I just keep waiting for something.
This has been just a life-draining drive by Tuttle. It's been impressive. Here's Roundsville again, left side. And he'll run forward for, gets a pretty good pickup again, 6 or 7. Gets it up down to the 14.
Roundsville and the runner on the left side.
And we talked about it, a little bit, on the season preview show, Eric Sherem and I, I had Tuttle in my top 5, but they were placing a lot from last year's team. And they add a lot of transfers, and you know they're going to be good. They're always good.
Right.
But that win in Guthrie last week, it was eye-opening. We sat here talking on the show like, wow, what a win that was. And you're seeing why. This is another team that is going to compete at the top level in 4A again this year.
Absolutely. They just look like a good, solid team.
3rd and 7. They give it on a little jet sweep. And not going anywhere is C.J. Simon. He got maybe a yard, maybe nothing. It's going to be 4th down. It's kind of an interesting decision here for Tuttle. Looks like they're going to try a field goal. And this is a big kick, obviously, to try and move it to 3 scores. You never say never, but 3 scores with where the game is and the way Tuttle's been running the ball and working that clock, you're in a tough spot. You get a miss here, and the door stays cracked open a little bit.
Well, it looks like Newcastle's gearing up to come after it.
That's a good. You got to try. Block this thing, and it's a fake. Roll out to the right. He's going to take off and run with it out of bounds. And he's well short of where the stick was.
Yeah, they're giving
That's
him
a stop
11.
on 4th down.
Woo! I'm not sure what happened. If it was a planned fake or a muff
think it
or
was.
What.
It seemed like it was a design fake.
Because he didn't have hardly any blockers in front of him.
Jet McCoy, who was the holder, took the snap and then spun around and took off with it. And Newcastle does get a stop. Not the way you would have wanted it, as Tuttle drained, how much, 7-8 minutes off the clock on that drive? And
at least.
But Newcastle does get it back, still down 2 scores with 1:01 to go here in the 3rd.
And no damage on the scoreboard. That's
Right.
a big thing. No
Right.
damage, still just 2 scores.
The best you can hope for right now, and there's still a whole quarter to go, but if you're Newcastle, I think the mindset right now has got to be score, stop, score.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if you have enough time to really do much else.
No.
The way Tuttle can run the ball and work that clock. So Newcastle does get it back, 1:01 to go on their own 11. Here's Bradford on the carry to the right side. Not much there. And in fact, he's going to lose a yard.
Wow. Yeah, they're just fast getting there. That was big number 63 that just got right around there and cut him off. And you got to give it to them. They're just fast getting around that end.
The Tuttle defensive line, it's just not, there hasn't been a lot of running lanes. Jackson Shaniel hasn't had a ton of time to throw a lot of the night as well. It's kind of just, it shows you what a good defensive line / front seven can do. It's hard to do much anything when
That's right.
they're breaking through quickly. Final 20 seconds of the quarter. Bradford is going to take off and run again, and again, bottled up. Nothing there. They might have lost another yard. And that probably is going to end the 3rd quarter. Looks like that's exactly what it's going to do. That was actually Ben Rogers that time on the carry. And that's going to end the 3rd quarter. Tuttle still in control. No points that quarter, but that's still a quarter won by the Tigers, you'd have to say. 14-0 after 3. Take a timeout. 4th quarter on the way after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Fourth quarter, Tri-City rivalry, Newcastle, Tuttle. Racers down 14-0. They're backed up way in their own end here, 3rd and 11, as they desperately try to find some offense to get back in this. Pressure coming on Shaniel. He'll step up in the pocket, fire over the middle looking for Longman, and he overshot him. An incomplete pass, and it'll be 4th down. That's a 3-and-out. And the story of the night, Billy, this Tuttle defense is just not given anything.
No, they are on a mission. Right here, they're just shutting everything down. The front line and the linebackers are holding everything in front of them, and there's just not a whole lot that they can do. And Shanuel's not having a lot of time and his receivers to get downfield. Their defensive backs are very physical, and so they're really roughing up on them right off the line. There's just not a lot of time.
So Newcastle, not something you love or want to do, but you really have no choice. It's going to pump this. They're backed up in their own 10, 4th and 11.
Well, and you're punting it to Brady McAdoo and C.J. Simon.
Yeah, Tuttle is one of the rare teams we touched on earlier that has 2 guys back to return punts. You don't see that very often. We have whistles here. I'm not sure what this is. I think they're saying that Tuttle had to burn a timeout.
Newcastle.
Excuse me. Yeah, Newcastle had to burn a timeout.
Timeout, Newcastle.
That's not one you want to use.
No.
Your second timeout on a punt.
Yeah.
On your deep in your own end. So they had a guy rushing on late, and so they took the timeout.
Thursday night.
And so they'll have to punt it away with 11:55 to go.
Volleyball is at home against MacArthur. Middle school.
Frustrating night, obviously, for Newcastle. I mean, there's some things you did, and there's still a quarter to go here, but defensively, it's been pretty good. I mean, Tuttle's moved the ball pretty well tonight, but they've had a hard time. Newcastle's been that classic bend but don't break on defense tonight. Tuttle's only touchdowns came on short fields after a turnover and after the I think it was a shank punt that gave them pretty good field position the other time.
Yeah, they haven't.
Other than that, that's their only 2 touchdowns, but Newcastle's offense has just really had a hard time getting anything much going tonight.
Well, they haven't driven the whole field and scored yet, so.
Right. And they're probably going to have great field position here. We'll see if Lawman can boom one. A little good over end, needs a good bounce, but a little too close to the sideline, and Tuttle will have good field position again here on the 39.
Well, and we'll see if they can hold them in, bend but not break. I think the way they played that last quarter, the defense is going to have to aggressively try and get that ball. But Roundsville, I haven't even seen it slide, move around in his hand. So they're going to have to do something.
So we'll see. I mean, if Newcastle, again, we touched on it a couple times, it feels like a lot more because the way Tuttle's controlling the game. But it is a 2-score game. One big play, defensively, offensively, whatever, and you can feel like you're right back in it, but you got to find a way to get that big play.
That's right.
So here we go. Handoff to Roundsville, and he's got nowhere to go. He's bottled up this time. He gets maybe a yard, if that. Good job there by the Racers crashing down. As this is what Tuttle's content to do right now, is just pound the rock with Roundsville, move that clock, and keep on chugging down.
Yeah, and that was a good one. Shaniel got in there, slowed him down, and Schumard came in and just went right at about ankle height and took him down. But they're not in a hurry, are they?
No need to be. 11:15 to go. Play clock at 10 for Campbell and the Tuttle Tigers. He's going to play action. He's going to throw here. He's going to throw over the middle. Got a man down there. It's dropped. Oh, boy. Zarian Kindle
Pass is incomplete.
Found a nice soft spot in the Racer defense inside the 20 and just kind of, what do they always tell you? Catch with your hands, don't let it get to the body.
That's right.
That's what happened. It bounced off his pads. That's huge in a couple of ways. Obviously, the play, it's not a 20-yard gain into the red zone, but also sets up a 3rd and long, and it saves you on clock, too, on an incomplete pass.
Well, that's true. And if he had caught that, the other receivers had the defense going towards
he
the far
scored,
side,
right,
and he was coming low side here, and he would have scored.
So 3rd and 9, and again, one of these big moments for Newcastle. Just try and get some momentum on their side. 3rd down and 9. Probably a passing down it is. Campbell, play action. He's going to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to take off. Taj Smith trying to chase him. Can't quite get him. Campbell trying to get to the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds. He is short. It's going to be 4th down. But we'll see if Coach Ballard wants to kind of go for the jugular here and maybe go for it on 4th down to really try and continue to lean on Newcastle here. We'll see what he does.
Well, and I hate saying this, but he really doesn't have a whole lot to lose by going for it. You know, if they don't make it, then you got Newcastle starting at the 30.
I'd go for it.
Yeah, it looks like
and they're going to. 4th and 3. Newcastle wants to have a shot. They got to find a way to get a stop here. 4th down.
Looks like they tried to draw him off sides.
Checking with it. Still got 5 seconds on the play clock here, so you got to hurry. And Tuttle's going to take a timeout. So we'll see if they were, in fact, just bluffing or if they actually will try and go for this. As it'll be 4th down and 3.
Well, they haven't motioned anything yet, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm pretty sure the play clock was running down, so Tuttle had to have taken a timeout.
Yeah. I just never saw the timeout motion or anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I tell you what, if they do punt, that's a great stop for Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
But now they're going to have to do something about it on offense. They're going to have
That's
to
the other
going.
thing, though. I think if you're Newcastle, do you maybe almost want them to go for it and roll the dice on field position because the way they've punted tonight, they've pinned you down inside the 5 every time. Might be better off taking your chances on defense and seeing if you can't get out to the 30. The way they've been punting, because Brady McAdoo, who's been doing the punting tonight, he has 2 touchdowns.
If you have a whistle,
he's pinned him a couple times.
Sounds like they're saying somebody was blowing a whistle in the stands.
So they may not have charged Tuttle with a timeout. They may actually keep that timeout because of the whistle there. So they're going to reset the play clock. So they are going to go for it. Here we go, big spot. 3 wide for Campbell. Roundsville, of course, the running back. Campbell's going to throw on 4th and 3.
Oh.
He'll step up, going to take off. Taj Smith just absorbed him. Gets a big sack, and the Racers are going to get the ball back on the 36. That's a big play.
He lost 3 yards on that carrying the Taj Smith backpack. So that was a good tackle.
That was a big
job.
play. I mean, there was not a lot there after Taj. I think Campbell's probably going to get that first down pretty easily if he could have got around the line. But big Taj Smith just wrapped him up, nowhere to go. And the Racers get the ball back with 10:52 to play.
Well, you got to enjoy it better from the 37 than the 4.
Yes. So here we go. Newcastle still with time. Obviously, the lion's share of this 4th quarter still left. Can they put together a drive to put some pressure on Tuttle? 1st and 10 on the 37. 3 wide for Shanuel. Bradford back there with him. That might be Rogers again. No, it is Bradford. Shanuel's going to fake it and keep it.
Ooh.
Hard run for Big Jackson. Shanuel carrying guys with him to the 42. It's a 5-yard pickup on first down.
Number 14, Luke Falwell.
And that was a good run. He's not quitting. He's putting this team on his back, so it looks like he's trying to win it. And he just shot forward right there, picking up about 5, carrying Tuttle guys with him.
And there's enough time if you're Newcastle. You don't have to get crazy and throw it all over the place. You can still run the ball. You still got over 10 minutes here, so look for them to continue to do that. They are going to throw here. Shanuel back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Bounces outside. Now he'll scramble, making guys miss. Tackle from behind, but he gets another 4 or 5 yards. He's real close to the sticks. I think he might have got it.
For 15, Jackson Shanuel.
It looks like it's pretty close
They're
there.
going to give it to him. The official on the near side here spotting it, he sort of looks like where he is would be a first down.
Tyrese Gonzalez.
Yeah, give it to him, first down.
Looks like they gave him the first down. Man, that every time he's running, I see that guy coming up behind him like a slasher movie. Man, I was having a hard time.
1st and 10, Racers.
So it's a first down for Newcastle up to the 42 as they try to put together a drive here under 10 minutes to play. Bradford up the middle. To the right side, breaks 1 tackle, runs to a couple others, and now another flag coming in at the tail end of the play.
Oh, there's just too much laundry on the field tonight.
Yeah, when you're having a hard time put any other drives as it is. Getting backed up and having to deal with that 1st and 20 or whatever, it's just crushing.
Yeah, and
that's going to have to be something that Okay.
Oh, wow.
Rescinded. We take it back. It's a face mask on the Tigers. We're just we're trauma. It's been so many holding tonight on key plays. But that's a face mask on Tuttle. That's a big call. That's 15 yards. That's going to move Newcastle down to the 41 of Tuttle.
Yeah, please forgive me. I have post-traumatic flag syndrome, so it's good to see that.
PSFD?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, PTFD. I messed it up there. Oh, bad snap. Rolls to Shaniel. He picks it up. Pressure off the right side. He sees it, avoids it. He'll step up and fire over the middle. Incomplete. Good job by Shaniel not to panic too much.
Yeah. Well, what was tough, it looked like some of the linemen were still standing there, not realizing it had been hiked.
Yeah.
That was unique looking.
Second and 10. We have some boisterous fans here.
Very much. Got Bradley in there at running back.
It's been a lot of Bradford primarily tonight. Bradley in there now, like you said, though. Shaniel's going to pass. He's going to step in the pocket and scramble again. Jackson Shaniel using his legs to try and get the Racers back in this. It's a first down inside the 30, all the way down to the 27.
Yeah, great run. They had a couple of guys grab hold of it. I really like seeing the receivers that were downfield still making blocks.
Right.
That was great. I didn't see who the receiver was, but kudos to you.
So some momentum and some life for Newcastle here, as they're down to the 26.5 or so. 1st and 10 right there. Still plenty of time. Fake the handoff. Shaniel will throw. Pump fake, pressure, sacked. Just collapsing on him. That's Adrian Avalar, who came right up the gut on Jackson Shaniel. Left him nowhere to go. And he's buried in the backfield all the way back at the 35.
That was one of those plays you'd see in a movie. The defender there jumped in the air and then came down and grabbed him.
It's kind of a little bit, not as dramatic, but a little like a Superman play almost.
Yeah.
Kind of came in. No fumble, thankfully, if you're Newcastle. But it's a big loss. All the way back to the 35. They got to get to the 20 or the 16 or so, 17, 16 so. Second and a lot. Shaniel steps up. It's Avalar again. Back-to-back sacks for Adrian Avalar. And now it's 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, they were almost into the red zone there. Now they're back out almost to the 40.
At the 39, got to get to the 16, so 23, call it or so. So the momentum, just as quickly as it arrived, it gets dashed. Back-to-back sacks by Adrian Avalar has got Newcastle way behind it. 3rd down and a lot. Shaniel steps up in the pocket. He'll break a tackle, try to run, but there's not a lot of room. He'll get a few, but it's only a slight dent. And what is a hefty load until the marker, and I think you almost have to just try and go for it. I hate to say that on 4th down and near 20, but with where the clock is, I think you almost don't have a choice.
Well, and I'm looking down there at Shaniel. He's getting up, but he's getting up slower than he did in the first quarter.
Yeah, he's taking some shots.
They're taking some hits on him.
So 4th down and call it 18. They got to get to the 16-yard line. They're at the 35. 16.5, 17, somewhere in there. Shaniel going to throw. Steps to his right. Gets a block by Bradley. Pump fake, nowhere to throw, and he's sacked again. Adrian Avalar's 3rd sack on that set of downs. And it ends the drive.
Number 14, Luke Falwell.
Yeah, Shaniel, you can just tell he's giving it everything
he took a big shot on that one. He tried to get rid of it, and so that opened him up to kind of an awkward landing. He's staying in the game for defense. Coach Brickman checking on him. But the sack by Avalar Falwell was in there on that too. And with 7:10 to go, the Tigers will once again take over.
That's just really hard to watch. And of course, they tackled him up pretty high, which probably helped in him landing awkwardly.
Yeah, well, he's like trying to throw it away as he's being driven to the ground.
And there's just great coverage back there.
He just nowhere to throw.
It looks like they're bringing him out and putting somebody else
probably
in
not
there.
a bad idea.
Not bad at all.
Coach Burke puts his arm around him, says, come over here, big man. We're going to need you. Season is still young.
That's right.
So Tuttle takes over on the 41. Campbell throws it right out to McAdoo, who has the only 2 touchdowns in this game. Another flag flying in here.
Yeah, that one was right in front of us. That was pretty obvious as stopping the inside defender to get out there and get on Brady McAdoo, so that's going to take him backwards.
There's a flag on the play.
7:05 left.
Holding on the offense.
The story of the night, obviously, Tuttle's defense has just not relented much and are certainly on the cusp of a shutout. I don't have all the scores in front of me, but I feel very confident saying that Newcastle's not been shut out in the time that we've been doing Racer football.
I haven't seen them shut out once. Looks like there's some activity down here on the sideline. So
somebody's getting attended to on the Newcastle sideline right here in front of us. Can't quite make out who that is. But we have a stoppage for. We'll go ahead and take it to 7:05 to go, attending to an injured Racer as the Tigers lead at 14-0 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. The injured party was T.J. Bradford, so certainly not a name you want. And right now, right here in front of us on the bench, both guys, Jackson Shane, T.J. Bradford, both getting looked at. I mean, just a nightmare right now for Newcastle. And, it's just kind of one of those nights.
Well, just fought their hearts out, just fought their guts out.
Hopefully both guys are okay. Bradford kind of, got to the sideline on his own power, so hopefully nothing major. We'll able to pass out in the flat here is Simon again, who's had a good night. We'll run around and pick up a solid gain after that hold on the previous play. They were backed up.
Yeah, it looks like Heskey was over there and finally got him down. Yeah. He is so shifty. He can stop on a dime, and it's kind of like you heard defenders when they try and tackle Barry Sanders. Yeah. They'd reach for him, and then he wasn't there. That's kind of what C.J. Simons is looking like tonight.
Yeah, Brady McAdoo's got the 2 touchdowns, but C.J. Simon has been the one really hurting Newcastle the most. As Roundsville, another hard run, and he's out across the 50 right at the first down marker. I think he got it. We'll wait and see the official spotting here. And another Newcastle player is down. It's just been a physical, rough game. It's big 77 Todd Smith now down right on the Newcastle end here at Racer Stadium.
And it looks like they're... Of course, I'm not a doctor, but it looks like there's maybe cramping up there.
Yeah, it does appear that, which is obviously best case scenario. It's not anything long term. But it's just been a brutal game. I mean, it's been very physical, a lot of hard hits in this game. And obviously Newcastle's had a number of guys. We saw Hunter Berry go down earlier. Guys have been kind of just having a little hitch in their giddy up all night. Obviously, we just had Bradford and Shaniel, and that Todd Smith looks like dealing with some cramping here, but just kind of one of those nights. It's like, man, it's just kind of one thing after another right now.
Right, and it really is. And it's always a physical game when these two play. That's what I've seen the last 5 years. But it just looks like as the game's going on, you're seeing some of the players that have tried to put it all on their back just kind of giving out a little bit of it. You can't blame them. They fought their hearts out. So, yeah, it's pretty – I think the best word you said it, brutal.
Yeah. It has been, as Taj is up on his feet, kind of walking off gingerly.
What are you waiting for? Support your Newcastle Racers and make every transaction.
As the Tuttle offense goes back to the field, Cruz Campbell piping up his student section as Tuttle is certainly on the doorstep of a big road win.
Another win after beating Guthrie last week.
I know. It's been a couple of statement start to the year for Tuttle. Here's Roundsville on the ground, and he'll run inside the 45. He'll get stuck there, but another good run for Roundsville. He's had a big night tonight.
He has. As much as last week was about receiving, this week's been about rushing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Campbell's throwing it around pretty good. Obviously, the 2 touchdown passes, and we just talked about what C.J. Simon's done, but the key to this Tuttle win, just besides the defense being tremendous, has been the way they've ran the ball with Roundsville. And if they can run the ball the way they did tonight, with Campbell throwing around to all these receivers and the way the defense played tonight, I mean, Tuttle's going to do some damage in 4A.
I believe that completely. And I'm not sure that they do that without Roundsville having a good rushing game.
Right. And here's another good run for them. It's going to be a first down to the 35-yard line. Move the sticks, 5:35 to go. And Tuttle just kind of leaning on them now as they try to salt this one away here at Racer Stadium.
And understand, we'd love it. We'd love to see an interception, run back, a pick six. It's just, it's tough watching.
Three receiver set. Campbell in the backfield with Roundsville. And he'll go back to him once more. Left side, and he's wrapped up for a short gain this time of just a few.
Roundsville's running around the left side.
Be sure to stick with us after the game. Bill and I will wrap things up from Racer Stadium. We'll also peek ahead to next week as we take our show on the road for the first time next Friday night with another big rivalry game as Newcastle head to Blanchard next Friday night. They were up big on Noble earlier. We'll check back in on them before the night ends. And speaking of Noble, that's who Tuttle will see next. So a little four-team round robin these last 2 weeks. As a nice throw in here to McAdoo. A sliding grab at the 15. We usually only do it for Newcastle, but the game is winding down, so we'll go ahead and get him in there. Our Trinity Restoration red zone. We'll make sure Trinity Restoration gets their just due. And Blanchard is hammering Noble, by the way. That has continued, 42-0.
Yeah, at Noble. So
we'll be heading out there to Blanchard next Friday night. First road game of the year. Should be a fun one. Roundsville to the right side. Elcision there to meet him. But as he has all night, he's able to keep the legs moving and get a couple extra yards, and he's down to the 10. End up getting about 6 yards out of that.
Yeah. And if you can take Elcision 3 or 4 yards, that's some power right there because he's a big fella.
Just a bruising, physical performance by Tuttle tonight. As we get down to the final 4 minutes, Campbell fires out, quick little bubble screen to Simon. Simon makes the first guy miss, spin move, and he's tackled around the legs. At about the 5, but that's going to be another first down for Tuttle. First and goal at that mark.
And it looks like they're going to try and push this in, and with just under 4 minutes left.
Be first and goal, Tuttle from the 5-yard line.
So it's a first and goal at that spot. It's like McAdoo's going to get the direct snap here. He'll fake the handoff and keep it. McAdoo to the left side, breaks one tackle to the pylon, and it's a 3-touchdown night for Brady McAdoo. 5-yard run, and he's in. And the Tigers put the the final nail in the coffin more than likely on this one, as his third touchdown makes it 20-0, extra point on the way.
Oh, it's a hard night. They're fighting their hearts out. They're playing all they can. But you're seeing Tuttle, the line is leaning on them. You're seeing the running backs pounding, getting through holes.
Yeah.
It's just a rough night.
Extra point is through. And Tuttle's lead is extended to 21 with 3:42 to play. We'll take a timeout. Tigers on their way to a big road win. 21-0 they lead over Newcastle on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. 3:42 to go. Tuttle leads Newcastle 21-0 in the Tri-City rivalry. Tigers' Brady McAdoo, his third touchdown of the night, 2 receiving, and that one rushing from 5 yards out. And the Tigers certainly look to be on their way to another statement win to start this season. The kickoff here is fielded by Caden Longman. He's had a couple nice returns tonight, and he'll be wrapped up. Why not? A flag comes flying in.
Number 8, Caden Longman.
As he's tackled
He's brought down by number 51.
shy of the 30-yard line.
Braden Taylor.
And penalties are certainly going to be, I think, probably the conversation this week for Newcastle. Not the reason that they got beat tonight. There was certainly some other things. Obviously, anytime the offense, you're getting shut out right now, but the penalties have been a big part of it.
Yes.
And it's going to be one of those things that if you're Newcastle, you got to find a way to button that up. And it's been a lot both ways. Certainly, Tuttle's picked up a lot as well. It's kind of been a sloppy game in that regard, but we talk about it every year. Penalties will get you beat. So you got to find a way to button that up.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at some things, clean some things up, and move that way, getting ready for next week.
Yeah.
So that'll be a week of looking and learning, And I hate to say it this way, but don't you learn more in a game like this about what you can do the next time?
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a very good Tuttle team. They didn't lose to a bad team.
And I think it probably, we can talk about it more in the post game, but I think it probably will help the fact that you have another huge rivalry game next week.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to be hard, I don't feel like, to turn the page when you got a trip to Blanchard coming next Friday night. And we'll be very excited to bring you that one. As pressure off the edge, Shane did a good job to avoid it. Rolls out, and he's kind of pump fake. He's just got nowhere to go. Has to throw it away. That's kind of been the story of the night.
Yeah,
it's really incredible what Tuttle's done defensively because, obviously, we talked about it. They've gotten lots of pressure on Shanuel. But even when he's been able to extend plays, for the most part, he hasn't really been able to find anyone on these extended plays. So not only are they getting good rush, but Tuttle's doing a good job covering up guys down the field, too. It's kind of been just all around really good stuff from Tuttle on defense.
Well, and what I've seen in their defense, and if you watch it right now, if he goes down to his right, then the linebacker comes back into coverage. And so then you got more people back in coverage, and then they're coming in and giving him pressure over here on this right side. So you're seeing some of that shifting and just good coaching.
Yeah. We'll make sure we get it in, too, as the quarter's kind of winding down. Our fourth quarter sponsor is Focus Federal Credit Union. Drive your dreams with their competitive rates and flexible terms for more than 69 years. Focus Federal Credit Union has continued to deliver innovative products and services to our membership about all things financial by anticipating needs and delivering exceptional member service. See them at their Tri-City branch, 1097 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Member FDIC. Shanuel's pass to Longman is caught. The ball might have came out. Tuttle says it did, and it did.
Oh,
Longman fumbles, and the Tigers dive on it, because why not? And Tuttle will take over with 2:42 to go, just on the outskirts of the red zone, and they can probably sit on it the rest of the way at this point with just 2:42 left.
Looks like they're talking about it, and you're seeing some of the Tuttle players with their arms open.
And obviously, we talked about it. We've had the pleasure of doing a lot of these Newcastle Tuttle games, and obviously Newcastle's had a hard time. It's been one of those humps, getting over the hump. But they've been so close so many times. Last year, the greatest example of it, so close to putting Tuttle away in Tuttle, and actually they're saying that, I guess, Longman was down here, so it's going to be fourth down. But tonight, obviously, one of the really only example that I could think of where Tuttle really just kind of controlled this thing.
Yes.
Not common to see the way that Tuttle has kind of taken control. As fourth down, Shanuel will throw. He's going to fire. Pass is caught by big Antonio Brown. It's going to be a first down across the 35, across the 40, running hard. Antonio Brown didn't hear no bell. As he runs through a couple of guys and gets a first down.
And I'm glad to see him do that. He's had a pretty rough game tonight. Been in there in some of the more tense times, and so it's good to see him get that reception and get down the field.
It's a guy who I kind of thought would be a big part of the offense this year, honestly. And it's only 2 games, but good to see him get involved there, see if that can maybe build over the next couple of weeks before district play starts. Shanuel rolls out to his right, fires over the middle. Dangerous pass. There he is again. Antonio Brown, a great catch across the 50. And another first down. That was a nice job by Brown. He went up and
high-pointed that thing.
Well, he strong-handed that one out of the defender's hand. So that was a good one. They're going to get down on the ball here.
Down to the 49-yard line as we hit the final 2 minutes to play from Gene Reed Field in Racer Stadium. Shanuel, he'll drop back to pass again. And he'll take off and run. Takes a shot, dives forward.
15, Jackson
Good to see Shanuel back in the game, by the way.
Yes. 14, Luke
Took that awkward shot earlier. TJ Bradford is being kept out. It looks like probably for the rest of the way here. Only a minute 34 left. He's on the bench here right in front of us, near side. Final 90 seconds.
Trying to get something on the board, it looks like.
Pass on the flat to Bradley. And passes high. Incomplete.
Hitting for number 10, Colton Bradley. Brings up
Well, that
3.
best thing on that is it stops the clock. But
yeah,
we need to get down the field.
So it's 3rd and 3. $21-0 Tuttle, 1:19 to go. Racers with one timeout to play around with. Back to pass again. Steps up, fires, looking for Heskew. Just missed him.
Pass is incomplete. Hitting for number 4, Rex Heskew.
Jet McCoy on the coverage there, and it's going to be 4th down for Newcastle with $1:15 to go.
Well, this will be the game right here. They need to get this down the field. You going back. Good Brown. Be a good place to put Brown back in there. Don't think I see him out there, though.
And he's right here on the sideline in front of us.
Yep.
So 4 wide. The running back Bradley next to Shanuel on 4th and 3. He'll take the snap, and whistle's blowing as that play didn't happen.
I don't see a flag or anything. They call timeout.
Somebody might have snuck a timeout in. Not sure who took it.
What's going on?
Now they're having to come back out there. I don't know. There's like there was maybe some confusion. Maybe I think maybe the officials thought Tuttle was going to take a timeout, or that they did, but that they didn't. I'm not sure what exactly happened there.
I don't either.
Looks like, they didn't let the teams go to the sideline, so it's like we're going to keep it as is.
Yeah.
And they'll stay 4th and 3. All right, so let's try that again. 4th and 3. Shanuel, play action. Fire over the middle. Got Longman down there and just over the fingertips. That's a tough catch, that over the shoulder.
Yep.
And he took a hit. Ball came loose. Incomplete. And Tuttle will take back over with 1:08 to go, and they can run out the clock and take home a shutout in this Tri-City rivalry matchup.
Well, and that was a good throw right in there, but he's running right between two Tuttle Tigers, trying to see it over his shoulder.
Sideline over by the flagpole. You will not be allowed on the field.
Reminder to tune into the Coaches Show Tuesday night, 6:30 at Luigi's. Get you ready for their next week's game, and then Blanchard will be taking on the Racers. We'll be heading out there, first time on the road for the season. That'll be next Friday night at 6:30, but, of course, be sure to keep up or stick around for a few if you want to hear Billy and I's final thoughts on this one. So we're going to wrap it up. Campbell takes a knee, and we'll, of course, like I said, look ahead to that Blanchard matchup next week. As looks like Tuttle's going to just take one more knee, and then that'll be all she wrote on this one.
I hadn't even started the clock yet, and it's at 44 seconds, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, other than just so we can all get out of here, I guess. I don't know why it didn't start. There it goes. And so they will take one more knee, and then that'll do it. So Campbell victory formation, and the clock will tick off as the Tigers win it 21-20 over the Newcastle Racers. Brady McAdoo, all 3 touchdowns. What did I say? 21-20? 21-0. Yeah, wishful thinking, I guess. 21-0.
There were 20 seconds left.
Yeah, that's where I was at. 21-0. Tuttle wins and they go to 2-0. Newcastle takes their first loss of the season. And they'll try to bounce back on the road next week. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll step aside here for a moment. We'll come back post-game wrap-up
after this break. Bill and I will finish it all up here from Racer Stadium. We'll also look ahead to next week as we head out to Blanchard next Friday night. Don't go anywhere. Post-game show next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier wrapping it up from the Castle. Tuttle knocks off Newcastle 21-0. Brady McAdoo, all three of the Tigers' touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. But obviously the story, the Tigers pitch a shutout against Newcastle. The Racer offense just never could quite get it going in this one, Billy, and that's really the story. I mean, I thought the Racer defense held their own pretty well. I mean, again, Tuttle moved the ball, but you're not going to stop an offense like that with everybody they've got. You know, you're not going to completely stop them. They scored 31 on Guthrie last week. But obviously, I mean, I'm not saying anything that's not. I mean, you could tune it. You could not have watched a snap of this game, and you could know. But the story was that Newcastle just offensively just couldn't get it going, and obviously got shut out tonight at home, which is very rare.
Well, and you hate that. The story of tonight, I would have to say, is Tuttle's defense.
Right.
I mean, they just – it was almost like they were in the backfield with them. They were right there with them, saw what they were going to do. It's just a rough night for them. Every time they thought they had something going, the defense would shut that down. It's just a rough night, and Tuttle's a great, great team. I'm interested in what's going to happen when they play Blanchard, because those are usually the two big-time teams in 4A.
Right.
And the way Tuttle looked tonight, I'm not sure anybody could beat them.
That's for sure. Tuttle will definitely be in the mix in 4A again. I feel very confident about that. Let's go ahead and look ahead to next week a little bit here. We go to Blanchard. First time on the road. Blanchard dominated Noble tonight. Was that their season opener? I should have looked that up. Okay, so they're 1-0. That's their first game. They crushed Noble, 42-0. That was what it was at last check. So I guess some early thoughts. Obviously, we don't know much about Blanchard, but just in terms of Newcastle, I mean, if you're the Racers, 49-0 now for Blanchard. If you're the Racers, you feel like you have to be telling yourself, look, our defense is legit. You know, Tuttle's, tonight, that's a really good offense. Only 21 points as it is a good number, but, 2 touchdowns on short fields. We got to find a way to get our offense going, obviously, whatever that may be, and we'll see the chips where they fall. But another big test next week, obviously. We talked about it. The schedule is unforgiving right now, and another big game next week.
Well, it is brutal, and next week is going to be a tough team, probably a lot like this team. I think one of the things you've got to tell your offense is the game's done. Game over. Put this behind you. Move forward. Learn. Go from it. It really seemed like there were some tentative times. I hate to try and be a coach. I'm not a coach. Never have been. But it almost seemed that there were some tentative times on the offense.
Yeah.
That could be because Tuttle was right there where they were at and all. So going into next week's game, I think they're going to have to just get the confidence up. Hey, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's one loss.
Right.
And it's not even a district loss.
Right.
And so they're going to have to put it behind them, say, okay, learn what we got to learn from this, move forward, and get some of that confidence back. So I think Coach Brickman.
And like I said, I do think it helps that it's another big rivalry next week. I mean, this one will sting, not to suggest otherwise, but
I do think in a couple of days, whenever they turn the page, it'll be easy because it's another big game. It's a big rivalry. I mean, you want to talk about flipping things, and you feel totally different if at this time next Friday you go win that game in Blanchard next Friday night. So I think another big week ahead.
And I think you have a real good point. You can't hang on to this game very long when you know Blanchard's right there, the next exit.
Right.
And so that may help them out a lot moving into this. Brickman really wants these strong teams, and this is why part of it, so they can get ready for district. This is the unfortunate part of that, preparing for tough teams in district. So you're ready, just put it behind you, and it's time to drive down south.
Yep, 100%. And we'll look forward to it. Of course, be sure first to tune into the Coaches Show Tuesday night. Gene Reed will have Coach Brickman and the team on as they'll turn the page from this one, get ready for the next big rivalry game coming up next Friday. And then we'll be there, 6:30 on the air for pregame. We'll set the stage from Blanchard, Billy and I, and then we'll have kickoff and the game coverage live from Blanchard, America at 7 o'clock next Friday night. Look forward to it.
Yeah,
Two games down.
Oh, it's going to be another exciting night. Maybe they'll get the fans into the stadium a little faster down there.
Yeah, no kidding. My goodness.
But
it was a zoo in this place tonight.
Yes, it was. A lot of people, a lot of fans here. Going to be a lot of fans next week. That just brings some excitement all its own.
Oh, yeah. It'll be another huge crowd. A lot of Newcastle folks will make the trip, of course, the short trip.
Right.
And it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll see you then. Coach Show on Tuesday, 6:30 with Gene Reed and the Newcastle Racers, Coach Brickman. And then you can catch us 6:30 pregame next Friday night, 7 o'clock kick. Newcastle and Blanchard, our first road game of the 2024 season. For Uriah Martinez running the camera, Carson Wade on the production, my partner Billy Collier, I'm Josh Calloway signing off for now from Newcastle. We thank you so much for watching tonight's game on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll see you next Friday from Blanchard. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.